Field in Birmingham, Alabama. It is a place of history, legend, and myth in college football. Today, the 74th game in the Alabama-Tennessee College Football Series. Hello again, everybody, and you can't know how much fun it is for me to come back for one more of these. This has been a series of legendary people and moments. You know, if you want to be a legend in sports, all you got to do is win the big games once in a while and leave a lot of quotes. Quotes like these from General Robert Neyland, who said, "Touchdown follows blocking just like night follows day." Wallace Wade of Alabama, "Nobody ever wins a football game, somebody loses it." Or Paul Bryant on a Thursday night before an Alabama-Tennessee game, he said simply to his Warriors, "Be brave." Longevity is another factor in the legend march. This will be the 22nd Alabama-Tennessee game for Tennessee coach Johnny Majors. 1956, a senior tailback All-American and runner-up in the Heisman, a 24-0 win. 1982 as coach, a 35-28 win, and Johnny really remembers that one.
Tennessee lost quite a few before I came back. I think 6 in a row, and we'd lost more than I'd like to think about when I came back. 5 in a row, and Alabama came into Knoxville number 2 in America. It was Coach Bryant's last year, which we didn't know about at the time. I'd always had a lot of respect for Coach Bryant. I got to know him pretty well. And it was a major upset, one of the most exciting games I've ever been around. Of course, we beat them 35-28. And Coach Bryant was a great winner, a great coach. But, I jumped off the shoulders and I shook hands with him after the game in Knoxville. And he says, "Johnny, you had a good game plan." Of course, he had to take a loss, too, because he's had his share of wins through the years. That was the last time he coached the Tennessee-Alabama rivalry. It was very meaningful. One of the most exciting days of my lifetime, I'll say that.
Sports and Science Converge, brought to you by AT&T, sponsored the '92 U.S. Olympic team. Analyzing an opponent's tendencies has been a time-consuming job for college football coaches. Now some coaches use computers to assist with play selection and defensive alignments. By inputting all previous plays and formations into a computer, Penn State University is able to more accurately predict an opponent's tendencies in key situations.
It's tough to get specific. I'm sure when we played Miami in the Fiesta Bowl, we were programmed in to play for the pass when they threw the interception, the last interception. When the assistant Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, said to me, "Well, figures they're going to throw." I said, "Yeah, figures are going to throw, but if they run, they win." You know, they were running down our throats at that time, but they had a tendency to throw in that situation, so that helped us.
In the day and age of computers and videotape, a program which doesn't use this technology is at a substantial disadvantage.
I think we do a better job of being prepared, but I think the other guy does a better job of being prepared. But we could not compete without him anymore.
Brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the '92 U.S. Olympic team.
It's going to be a good week to keep in touch.
Remember the day at the ballpark when I hit the ball and ran and slid in the mud and I was...
You had a crush on my brother? She reminds me so much of you.
AT&T Reunion Week starts this Monday, and it's just 11 cents a minute for an out-of-state call. Anywhere in the U.S. from 5 to 11 p.m. So what are you waiting for?
Hey, all right.
Just 11 cents a minute to reach anyone, anywhere, all week.
In just one day.
Woo! Good, good.
Dynasty rises again.
You're the most exciting man I've ever had.
Dynasty, the reunion tomorrow.
Joe took the money his mama gave him for music and used it for the gym. Andy returned the violin and bought boxing gloves. When the violin teacher told his mother he had stopped, she was disappointed. But when the teacher told her he had no talent for the violin, and Joe told her how good he was in boxing, she said she'd help him with the money for that.
Ours is a state where folks are never at a loss for dreams, nor ways to make them come true.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs in sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub. Only $1.69, only at Subway.
This Sunday, buy 1 footlong sub at regular price. Get a second footlong of equal or lesser value free. That's Subway my way.
If you think convenience stores are just for little things, then you haven't been to a Shop-a-Snack lately. Shop-a-Snack has hundreds of everyday items you don't have to wait in line for. Band-Aids, aspirin, quick meals, those last-minute school lunches, fresh milk, eggs, team incentives, the things you want right in your neighborhood. So don't drive all the way to the supermarket just to stand in line. Make a short trip to Shop-a-Snack.
Shop-a-Snack. We're more than just a snack.
Crimson Tide Football, Sunday at 2:30 on Channel 6.
The Crimson Tide of Alabama, 5-1, ranked 14th in the country. Their loss was at Florida. Tennessee is 4-1. Their loss was at Florida. Gene Stallings, the coach of the Crimson Tide, second year, 12-6, and Alabama has won 5 in a row over Tennessee. Our double Hall of Famer Bob Greasy is getting his first taste today of shootout in the Southeastern Conference. He's into the fried chicken, but we can't get him on the sawmill gravy and biscuits yet.
No.
We're working on it. Bob, both these teams come in now with outstanding defensive units, but the offense comes from a totally different design.
No question that the defenses have the same recipe, that's speed and quickness, but offensively it's totally different. For Tennessee, they lead the conference in total offense, in passing offense, I should say. And their quarterback, Andy Kelly, is the #1 rated passer in the SEC in total offense. He got banged up last week, some bumps and bruises in the loss at Florida. He'll be all right today. Alabama, on the other hand, does it the old-fashioned way. They run the football. They lead the conference in rushing offense. In fact, they have over 300 yards per game on their average. And their outstanding tailback, Saran Stacy, leads the conference in rushing. Big games are usually decided by turnovers and mistakes. And if that's the case here today, Alabama gets the edge because they lead the conference in takeaways.
And Alabama has an edge in the series over the years, but as an old friend of mine once said, analyze it is paralyzing. Let's play this blame thing.
Designed to run like a watch. Just strap it on.
There's a reason more people go to Sears for a new battery.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. Sears is so confident of Die Hard starting power, if you need a jump, Sears will do it absolutely free. Anytime, anywhere, even if you leave your lights on.
I got stranded once. Never again.
Sears Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that
feels. The Rothman's brand new family room is there because a State Farm agent was there with a family insurance checkup. You see, State Farm agents keep in touch to help keep your car, your home, and your life insurance up to date. Just a month after we added more coverage on the Rothman's home and its contents, it was devastated by a fire. But thanks to our checkup, the coverage was there, and for the Rothmans, it made all the difference.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ABC's College Football. Brought to you by Honda, who puts a driver's airbag on every new Accord, Civic, and Prelude and urges you to buckle up. By the Die Hard battery, now with more power when you need it most. By United Airlines, come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. And by Canon, America's #1 choice for copiers of uncompromising quality.
Alabama receives the football to start the game. Here are the strengths.
Alabama has got to be able to run the football to take pressure off of their quarterback. And for Tennessee defensively, 9 senior starters, a very experienced crew.
3 people are back. David Palmer is in the middle for Alabama. He is the true freshman, and he can fly. Kicking off is Joey Chapman for the Volunteers, and Tennessee's wearing the white road uniforms today. From the 35. Chapman knocks it all the way to Bessemer. No return. Alabama ball, first down at the 20. The starting unit for Alabama features at quarterback Danny Woodson. He is a senior at 6'3", 220 out of Mobile, but this is only his 7th career start. He hasn't played all that much. Had 3 easy games, though, and it may have helped him settle down. Also in the backfield with him will be Saran Stacy, Kevin Turner, and David Palmer gets a start today. It is Stacy who is the bell cow of that offensive unit. The wideouts are all quick. Here's your first play of the ball game from the 20 for Alabama. Palmer's in motion. Palmer's got the ball. Coming around the corner, he shakes one, and he puts his head down and bulls his way to the 28-yard line. An 8-yard pickup on the play for Alabama along the front, and if there's a weakness on Alabama, this is where it shows up right here. They're young, and they're not all that big. But John Stevenson is a very obvious member of this group. He is a true freshman from Memphis, Tennessee. So starting a true freshman at offensive tackle at Alabama tells you something about the offensive front. Palmer is out now at the flanker spot, having given him 8 yards, and Prince Wimbley is in there. Mix up in the backfield. Woodson went the wrong way. The football is fumbled, and it is recovered by Tennessee's Sean Walker. I don't know whether Woodson went the wrong way. One of them did, and they ran into each other. And Stacy and Woodson, in their collision, lose control of the ball. Walker covers it, and Tennessee's cooking.
Gene Stallings of Alabama said, "We've got to get off to a good start." Not a good start. The fumble comes out. It's hard to tell whose fault that was, Keith, but Tennessee gets the ball in great field position.
At the 22-yard line of Alabama, and Andy Kelly is in there. Beat up and banged up, but he's in there. He's never won an Alabama game. This is Aaron Hayden getting the start. The ball squirts loose from Hayden, but it goes out of bounds, and Tennessee will keep control of it inside the 20. Andy Kelly is a 5th-year senior from Dayton, Tennessee. He's 66% of the Tennessee offense, and that ought to tell you something about the problems that Johnny Majors and his folks have with the Tennessee offense. The big play guy for Tennessee is number 15, Carl Pickens. And I mean, he is everything said about him, and then some. Tremendous wideout. From the 18-yard line, Kelly rolls it, keeps it, throws it for the corner, incomplete, out of bounds. Pressure on Andy, and he goes down. The pass intended for J.J. McCleskey. Along the front for Tennessee, Tom Myslinski is the bell cow, the veteran guard at 285 pounds. But again, you know, that's not quite the mix along that offensive front that they had hoped to have this year. They haven't been knocking people off the ball and haven't been able to run it very well. Now they check off, and this is a tough place to check off when you're close to the end of Legion Field against Alabama. And the ball to it's Aaron Hayden, 24. Mario Brunson, 44, is the fullback. And Hayden getting a start ahead of James Stewart doesn't get a whole lot out of that as the Alabama defense swarms. And both these defenses will just eat you alive if you don't get things going in sync. Field goal try by John Becksford. He is a freshman from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's 6 out of 7. He's so young, he doesn't even know it's hard. And he's just been knocking it through. The hold is Jason Julian. Snap is good. The hold, the catch is partially blocked. Somebody got a piece of it. And Tennessee, after a great break early in the ball game, is turned away empty.
There's a reason more people go to Sears for a new battery.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. Sears is so confident of Die Hard starting power, if you need a jump, Sears will do it absolutely free. Anytime, anywhere, even if you leave your lights on.
I got stranded once. Never again.
Sears Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
I have Denorex on this side. As soon as I put Denorex on my hair, I felt like the itch was going away.
What does the Denorex tingle tell you?
The tingle feels like it's taken away the dandruff.
Denorex shampoo and conditioner has strong medicine to fight dandruff and its itch, plus conditioners to leave hair healthy looking and manageable.
The Denorex tingle tells me it works, and I see that it works. I have no dandruff, and I have no itch.
Denorex with conditioners, the dandruff shampoo you can feel working.
Our competition uses a very sophisticated, state-of-the-art, highly precise device to measure their cars. Our car, the Accord from Honda.
Blocked kicks have a long history in this series. Go back to 1968. Mike Dean from the 25. Blocked! Jimmy Weatherford did it. 10-9, Tennessee won the game. The ball game is over.
Who was that announcer anyway?
Some young fella. 30, in less than an hour after that game ended, Andy Sedaris, who was then directing college football, and I were passing through 10,000 feet on the way back to Mexico City and worked that night in the Olympics. Back when we were young and strong.
You can do that kind of stuff.
Yep. 20-yard line. Surratt Stacy can't get back to the 20 as Tennessee jumps him at the 19-yard line.
Let's go back and take a look at that blocked field goal. Watch to the left of the screen. Get a little bit of penetration right there. Just tips the ball. That's 55 London, an outside linebacker. Looked like he got just enough of it. So we're back to normal. Fumble for Alabama, a missed field goal for Tennessee. We're back to square one.
That is 2nd down and 11 for the Tide. Here comes the quarterback. He just took the snap, took off like a tailback behind single wing blocking, fumbles the football again, but this one goes out of bounds. So the play is good up across the 25-yard line for Danny Woodson, but he's got to get a handle on it. The defense for Tennessee, Chuck Smith is a busy guy. Chuck is from Athens, Georgia. Yep, right behind the hill from the University of Georgia. But he's at Tennessee. The secondary, Dale Carter is the All-American back there for Tennessee. Free safety, and he will come up and put a hat on you. He's also a great kick returner. It is 3rd down. As Woodson goes back trying to set up a screen and throws the ball away. If he had a screen set up, he lost his running back in the melee because Tennessee had about 5 people coming at him.
Well, they had an 8-man front. They're blitzing Woodson, not giving him time to set up. He didn't have much time. Just threw the ball away to avoid the sack.
And here's Tank Williamson in the punt for Alabama. Dale Carter is the deep man. Tennessee ought to get pretty good field position if they handle it. That's a good tight spin. It's a booming kick. Fumble by Carter. Ball is loose and Alabama has got the football. It is covered by Steve Dusky. Steve Dusky is on the football. He's the tight end for Alabama, number 83.
There's a look at what I mentioned in the opening. Alabama in the turnover margin is +9. They've taken the ball away 9 more times than they've given up. Tennessee is last in the conference in turning the ball over. Carter was an All-American last year at returning punts. That ball went right through him. He is looking back into the sun. Notice the shadows. He did look back right into the sun.
That is the 4th fumble in this ball game. Would you say the guys are a little tight?
A little nervous.
Little tight. David Palmer coming around the corner. He's a freshman from Birmingham, we told you early on, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage on that carry. They take him down at the 25-yard line.
That was the same play they started the ball game off with. Palmer is a true freshman. Looks like he's limping just a bit. He played his high school ball right here in Birmingham, and in fact played on Legion Field. Has scored 5 touchdowns already this year for the Tide. He's gotten 3.
They're screwed up now. See, Wembley's running around. He thinks he's supposed to go out. Now he stays in, and now there's 2 or 3 people out there don't know what they're doing. They pitch it back to David Palmer. He's going to throw it.
Yeah.
Gets it off. Got a man over there. That's Woodson, the quarterback, and he's down to the 10-yard line. And now Palmer's really hurt.
Well, that's why they wanted Palmer to stay in the ball game. He played quarterback as well in high school right here on this field. Let's take a look. Here's Palmer right here. He's going to go in motion. The quarterback will toss it to him and then come back out here. The ball will be thrown back over here to Woodson, the quarterback. That's why they wanted him to stay in the ball game. Palmer has played quarterback and wide receiver. Outstanding play.
Well, he was limping noticeably on the left ankle, stayed in the game, and now he's down on the field being attended to.
Happy birthday, Wicked.
It was engineered to a higher standard with one of the world's most advanced suspension systems. It is nearly invisible to the wind. When it was built, it became an instant classic. The Accord Coupe from Honda. Everything else is just water under the bridge.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was 1 pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took one giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
Number 3 Washington tackles California. Illinois battles Iowa, plus other regional action. Next, as ABC's college football continues.
Well, they're working on David Palmer, but he's apparently hurt that ankle quite badly because they had to help him off the field. That's a big loss for Alabama. The Tide owns the ball. First down and goal to go. Just inside the 10-yard line, Stacy and Kevin Turner line up behind the quarterback, Woodson. Wembley and Lee are the wideouts for Alabama. They'd like to run the ball here. They'll try it with Stacy, and Stacy will get it to the 8-yard line for 2, and it'll be second down and goal from the 8. And here's Jack Aruth.
Well, Keith, you're absolutely right. The injury was to David Palmer's left ankle. They say it was a sprain, and the trainer says they're going to retape it. They've applied some ice material, so they say he's cleared to go back and play.
Thank you, Jack.
That'll be a big loss as you see what Alabama has done inside the 20-yard line.
Curtis Brown, number 85, checks in at a wideout position for the Tide. Tennessee showing a 4-man front right now. Woodson keeps the ball, turns it inside, got a little daylight. Inside the 5 and down at the 4. Ernest Fields, number 23, made the tackle for Tennessee.
Tell you a little bit about David Woodson. He is leading the SEC in passing, that complicated percentage thing that they do. But really, he is not that good a passer. He's completing 71%, only thrown 78 passes. His strength, if he has a strength, is his running ability. As you mentioned, he's a fourth-year senior, hasn't played a whole lot, only his 7th start.
Now Tennessee puts 8 folks up on the front. And it's 3rd down. Woodson looks to throw it, throws it now. The pass is incomplete, and he picked the wrong man. If he goes to his tight end, Buskey, he's wide open.
Take a look at Buskey, number 83. Now the flanker will come from the right side of the screen. Right there, he's coming in. That's who got the ball. But look at the tight end going out. Looked like he was more open than the flanker was.
Amp Green will try a 21-yard field goal out of the hold of Jeff Wall. Trying for the lead here. And the kick ain't pretty, but it counts. 9:46 to go in the first quarter, and Alabama goes to the lead off the 21-yard field goal.
They came to this country from everywhere else. And now, the airline that's uniting the world is ready to take you back. United. The airline whose service made it #1 across the Pacific. Takes you across the Atlantic to cities throughout Europe, including service to London's Heathrow. United to Europe. Come see what we're made of. Come fly the friendly skies.
Since we became employee-owned, I think there's a far greater commitment to providing good quality service.
Roving Rapid Return is really fast. I meet you at your car, push a couple of buttons, hand you a receipt, and you're out of there.
So why rent from anyone but an owner?
College is a tough climb. Joining the Army could make it easier. You can earn money for your education with the Montgomery GI Bill and the Army College Fund. And you'll develop the confidence and determination that can get you to the top in college and beyond.
There are hundreds of motorhomes parked right behind Legion Field in McClendon Park. Some of them probably just came over from homecoming in Tuscaloosa last Saturday, pulled in here on Tuesday, and they've been sitting under the shade tree ever since, having a good time. The numbers on Green's 21-yard field goal, and it came off a turnover.
You see Palmer, number 2. He's up moving around. He's had his ankle retaped. Mentioned he was a high school quarterback. He was a running back, a wide receiver. And that pass that he completed to the quarterback, Woodson, was a big play in that drive.
Alabama to kick it off now, and Tennessee wants Dale Carter to handle the ball. It'll come down the middle and take a straight bounce to Carter. They fake the reverse. Carter looks for a crack and instead gets cracked at the 21-yard line. The Alabama defensive unit, which we have not given to you, and they do fly around. I mean, they're almost maniacal at times. And the guy that leads the charge from the down position at nose guard is Robert Stewart, and he's a good one. The secondary, Langham, Harrison, Teague, and McMillan. The corners can run. Harrison has a history of getting his hand on the football a lot. Man down on the field, Gene Stallings, the head coach of the Crimson Tide in his second season. Incredibly, this man had a total of 26 years. 12 with Paul Bryant and 14 with Tom Landry, and he recalled this last night.
My coaching style has not changed, really. As an assistant coach for Coach Landry, I was an instructor. I feel like you need to. I was a teacher in the classroom. You don't have your player near as much in meetings in college ball as you had in pro ball.
And, of course, if you know anything at all about Southern football, you know that you didn't work for Paul Bryant and not teach. The SEC standings, it's Florida right now sitting up there, and mainly because the Florida Gators have defeated both of these teams. And they did it down in Gainesville, and Florida has only 3 games remaining. They have to go to Auburn, and that could be a bump in the road because that's a tough place to win. They all usually have a pretty good football team down there, too.
Yes, they do.
Alabama now is watching its second man walk gingerly off the field. The first was David Palmer. This Lemansky Hall. And Hall's a linebacker, and he plays a lot. And he's a very important person because he's got good foot speed. He runs well, and he's part of that 6- and 7-man defensive back alignment that they use.
Yep. You know, that interesting piece, listening to Stallings talking about Landry and Bryant. I asked him last night, one thing he learned from both men. He said from Landry, it was organization. And from Bear Bryant, it was motivation and how to prepare these guys to play.
The ball is resting out on the 21-yard line. First down and 10 for Tennessee. Andy Kelly playing sore. Back to throw it. Drops it off. The pass is caught by Craig Faulkner, a sophomore from Richmond, Kentucky. They've got him short of the first down. Faulkner with very good quickness at 175 pounds. Again, Jack.
Keith, we did a polling of the trainers and the various staff people as to what the mood of these two teams were. In the case of Alabama, they used one word, electric. But in the case of Tennessee, they know they've lost 5 games in a row. And the best way to exemplify it is what the coach said to him, Johnny Majors. He said, lay it on the line and be proud.
Well, if you're not going to sell out in this ball game, you ought not to be playing.
And when he said 5 games in a row, he meant 5 in a row to Alabama.
That's right. That stop is made. Aaron Hayden carrying it. Now, Tennessee didn't run a lick against Florida last week. They gained 49 yards in 60 minutes of football. That's not Tennessee football.
They come in averaging 300 yards in the air and 159 on the ground. And Johnny Majors would like to run the ball more than that.
Kelly, a little quick hit. That's good for the first down. I mean, he popped that thing right on the numbers. The ball was caught by Carl Pickens. The surest hands probably on the team. The tackle by Antonio Langham for Bama. And it's first down Volunteers. Warm day in Birmingham. It's about 80 degrees. I don't see a cloud. Trees starting to turn. Nice setting. Handoff goes inside to Rock Poe. He's a freshman out of Mobile, a red shirt, and he's got good size of 220 pounds, and he moved that football. He got it up to about the 39-yard line. They've made Legion Field all fancy now. I mean, they've redone and added seats, and I mean, it's really been gussied up. You can't even throw your chicken bones on the floor anymore. You have to behave yourself. Goodness sakes. I mean, it's really fancy.
Well, they certainly welcomed you back here in Grandstown. You must not have thrown many chicken bones on the floor.
My pleasure. Penalty flag is on the field. Jimmy Harper is the referee.
Snap. Illegal motion, offensive team, dead ball foul.
I love it. Dead ball foul. You don't have any doubt who's in charge.
Jimmy Harper's got to be doing this game. Tennessee, Alabama, and Jimmy Harper.
It's second down. Kelly gives it away to Hayden. And Aaron Hayden gets it up just over the 40. And Johnny Majors, in talking about Andy Kelly, coming out of the Florida game last week, had this comment on his condition.
I don't know whether Kelly has got full speed or not, but he has made considerable progress every day this week. He didn't get any work on Monday. He was out there observing, and he's practiced a little better every day. And everybody wants to play an Alabama game if you got any guts, and he has a lot of guts.
AK is in there right now on third down and 4. Checked off. Ends it away. That's going to be a first down as Hayden finds some running room and goes slashing off the left side and puts the ball on the Alabama side of the field. First down.
It's a good check off by Kelly. He had everybody spread out. Alabama was spread from sideline to sideline. It's a good block there. on Sullins, number 90. Only needed 4 yards, and sometimes for a quarterback, it's tough to check from a passing play to a run play on 3rd and 4 or 5, but that was a good call by Kelly.
Saw that freshman drop that shoulder and lay a lick on George Teague, too. They've got Kelly. The sack is made. It's Antonio London getting their first, number 55. Monday night on ABC Sports, Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills. They're very popular these days. They're against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bills have the best record in the AFC at 6-1. Boomer and the boys from Cincinnati are having a hard time getting their feet under it. ABC's Monday Night Football live at 9 Eastern Time. Call it second down at about 15. They look for some daylight up the middle with Hayden, the freshman out of Detroit. James Stewart is the other tailback for Tennessee. He's a freshman from Morristown, Tennessee. So they're young.
That offense for Tennessee lost 8 players from the offensive team last year to the NFL, to the draft. 8 players were drafted. And, of course, they had their 2 top tackles, outstanding players, and a wide receiver all go in the first round.
Look at this. No back. Everybody's outside. Trips to the top, double at the bottom. Protection pretty good. He has to go inside, though, to Carl Pickens down the sideline. Carl Pickens has got a first down, Tennessee, inside the Alabama 15-yard line. Stacey Harrison saved the 6.
Well, you got no backs in the backfield, but here is Pickens. How can you leave him alone? He's just going to come down, break to the outside. They've got him spread from sideline to sideline. Get a little bit pressure on him, but as they go downfield and they back up, everybody forgets about Pickens.
Boy, you can't do that.
No, you got to have 2 guys on him most of the time.
This is Hayden carrying the ball. He picks up a couple down to about the 12, and there he is wrestled down. Carl Pickens is a junior out of Murphy, North Carolina. He could do a lot of things for your football team.
Well, he's an outstanding receiver. He came into the ball game approaching a lot of the receiving records at the University of Tennessee.
Second down and 7. Run it up the middle. The headgear comes off of Aaron Hayden as he hits the ground. He's tripped up by Teague, but he met so little resistance, he literally fell down.
This is just good, tough running up inside, and if Tennessee has a weakness, it might be in the fact that their 2 running backs are freshmen. Now, if they were offensive linemen, or you would be concerned, but if you're going to have any inexperience in any position, it would be a tailback, because all you have to do is give them the ball and let them react.
Stewart is in there replacing Hayden, and he comes off the bench cold, and they give him the ball, and John Sullins leads the defensive charge for Alabama, and they stop what was the 12th play in this possession for Tennessee.
This Crimson Tide defense doesn't give up a lot of points. As you see right here, only allowed 1 TD the last 10 quarters on this field.
So you got a situation here of 4th down and a yard, and this is time to play some jawbone football. They're going for it. Kelly throws it. Incomplete. Intended for Pickens, and the Tide has held.
Bad choice. Double coverage on Pickens. Take a look at Pickens now. That's 43 is Langham. He's going to get help from the safety coming from the right side. If the ball's thrown right now, you got a chance, but it's thrown a little bit late, and the safety gets over there. The ball is thrown low, and the reason it was low is that he saw the other guy coming. Take a look right here. He's going to run break to the inside. Now the 2 guys that are going to cover him are right here. He saw him coming, and he had to throw it because the defensive man was in his face.
And so, with that failure to convert and get the touchdown, Tennessee leaves. This is an official timeout as Jimmy Harper's talking to the other officials, but the ball is just outside the 5, and I think he's questioning the location of the spot. But at least failing to score, they leave Alabama backed up down close to their own 5-yard line.
Interesting call, though, by Johnny Majors, not going for the... I wonder if it was because he's on the hash mark real close to the goalpost. That angle is very difficult this year.
Could be. This is Kevin Turner, the fullback, carrying the ball, and he works his way up around the 10, maybe the 11-yard line. The Honda Scholar Athlete of the Week, brought to you by American Honda, proud to support amateur athletics. Toby Shields, Junior Center, University of Alabama, this week's winner. Honda presenting a check for $3,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the university. His major is marketing, his grade point 3.05. David Palmer is back in, sore ankle and all. They go inside to the big guy, Turner again. He's 220 pounds. And Tennessee is keeping Alabama pinned in there pretty well. They're right around the 10-yard line.
Here's a look at the freshman. David Palmer, who was out, got his ankle taped. Looks like he's running pretty well.
I'm watching him go off now, and he's a little tender.
Yeah, for a little guy like that, his whole game is speed and quickness, and being able to move on those feet, that'll hurt him more than most people.
Here's where Alabama now could be hurt with a lack of real passing threat here. It's 3rd down and 5. It's a tough place to be throwing the ball around. They're going to do it. Let it go big, and it is incomplete. Intended for Lee, and there's a penalty flag thrown on this side of the field, and that may have holding all over it. Offside. Well, it was 3rd and 5, so let's see about the spot.
Tennessee was a little bit anxious. The end man on the line. Yep. Good call by the line judge.
Offside, defensive team. Still be 4th down, 4th and short.
Well, it's 4th and short, and I do mean short. It was 3rd and 5. See, that's the location of the spot that...
Now they measure that before you move it. Now, they measure that before they move it, and if it was 5 and a foot short before they moved it, it's still 5 and a foot short afterwards.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Isn't it 3rd down? Didn't the penalty?
Yeah, they get 3rd down over.
3rd down over?
No, 4th down. No, it was 3rd down. I'm sorry. 3rd down over again.
3rd down. He
sure
said 4th, but it's 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting up here like a parrot. Lee is out. Wembley goes out. 3rd down and very short. They put in a couple of tight ends, and that one of them is Martin Houston at the fullback position. And I don't know. That man comes in from the side and marked that ball, and that is not a first down where he's standing. I think Tennessee stuffed them. Stacy carried it, and they didn't make it. My goodness.
Well, the defensive front for Tennessee just wins that battle. And as we mentioned, the weakness for Alabama offensively is the offensive line. Strength for Tennessee is that front 7. And they certainly won that battle.
Alabama's offensive front is small and young. Williams' punt is out of there. It's a low liner going back to Dale Carter. This time he handles it. Doesn't get much help, though, and he is put on the ground back around the 44-yard line. Let's go quickly to Roger Twiville.
Well, thank you very much, Keith. The heavyweight championship fight between Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson has been called off for the moment because of a rib injury suffered by Tyson. He first sustained the injury on October 8th. He aggravated it again this week. He'll need 6 to 8 weeks to recuperate. They're looking at possibly having this fight take place sometime after the first of the year. They're having a news conference in about 1 hour. We'll keep you posted on the developments there. Let's go back to Keith and Bob.
All those shenanigans about professional boxing, and in particular the heavyweight championship, getting boring, more boring as time goes on.
game they play with their marketing and all of that stuff. It's incredible. But Tyson was seen about 2 weeks ago holding his ribs going into a clinic. But they wait until now to announce it. Gain is across midfield, down close to the 47-yard line, with Aaron Hayden carrying it. As we told you, he's the youngster out of Detroit. Smokey, the blue tick hound, when he got sick early on, he was down and sent to the hospital for heat exhaustion. And he stayed a week.
He doesn't run around the field after they score every time, do they?
No. He's an old-timer. He's messing with him. That gain is to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Rock Poe is carrying it.
Poe is in there because Brunson, the starting fullback at that position, sprained an ankle and may not return this afternoon. Also for Tennessee, Lemansky Hill, who was injured, had some bruised ribs. We showed you him a little earlier going off the field.
And Lemansky Hall also. So they're playing on a rug here, and it's a warm day, so they're sticking to it some. And the first quarter is over. Alabama leading Tennessee 3-0.
You could call one company to take your package to an address across town. And you could find somebody to take your package to any address cross-country. Then you could call a third outfit that could take your package overseas. And yet another that could take your package overnight. But there's only one company you could call if you only wanted to make one call.
With the highest resale value in its class and proven Honda reliability, the Accord is a safe place to put your money. When what you eat and drink upsets your stomach, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach itself. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine directly to your stomach, right where you hurt. It's powerful relief. Pepto-Bismol. It's real medicine for your stomach.
It's not my birthday. It's not Mother's Day. Why do I deserve this?
It was free, Mom.
Now come to Burger King and get a frosted Coca-Cola glass free. All you have to do is buy a great-tasting BK broiler combo or any large sandwich combo.
If we come back for dinner, I'll have a set of 12.
Those are from my Aunt Rose.
I know.
So hurry to Burger King and get a collectible Coca-Cola glass free before we run out.
A driver's side airbag is now standard on every new Accord, Civic, and Prelude. But remember, it's most effective when you wear your seatbelt.
If I had one word to describe my experience at UT, it would be invigorating. Being married for 20 years and then all at once finding yourself divorced with no marketable skills. You know, I had worked some, but I had no education, and here I have 4 children from 16 to 3, and it was frightening. So I knew I had to do something to take care of my girls and to get myself in a position where they didn't have to take care of me. As I've said over and over, nothing can stop me now.
There's the birthday boy.
Ugly old goat.
Well, I want to tell you, it's been a tough week for me with you up here. This coming back to Alabama. They called him an institution in the release this morning in the paper, the local paper. The guy says, next to Bear Bryant coming back, it's good to have Keith Jackson in town to do the broadcast. I think, well, what am I doing here? I just go get on the airplane and go home.
We'll loan you a stump. Pass is incomplete. Ball falls out. Mose Phillips, who came to school as a quarterback, now wideout.
Here's a look at the first quarter statistics. Alabama with only 1 first down and only 19 yards rushing. Take a look for Tennessee. They have really rushed for more yardage than they've thrown for. And that, for Johnny Majors, he would love to see each quarter.
Andy Kelly hands it off to Hayden. And he's across the 40 to the Alabama 39-yard line. Hayden's having a pretty good day. I'll remind you again that last week against the Florida Gators, Tennessee was able to gain on to 49 yards in the whole ball game. Now Hayden, with 10 carries, has already gained 54. Of course, it's a different defense they're running at today. That Florida crowd's tough. Kelly hands it off. Certainly wasn't much of a hole there that time. And the ball carrier Hayden is stopped short of the 40.
That's what Tennessee has done running the ball this year.
That is not typical Tennessee ground game.
It's not good. When you 4 yards per carry is good. Anything less than that is you're not going to make a first down by running the football that many times.
Andy Kelly drops back in short punt formation. He just wants to pooch a ball downfield and try to stop it short of the end zone, but can't do it as the ball takes a bounce and goes on to the end zone, and so it'll come back out to the 20 for the Tide.
It's not Waterford Crystal or a Hasselblad lens. It's a headlamp. And if you think that's impressive, wait till you see what's attached. Introducing the new Lexus ES 300 Sport Sedan.
Most of my friends don't know what they're going to do after graduation, but I've already locked in guaranteed skill training in the Army. Qualify now and you can reserve even the Army's most sought-after technical training up to 12 months in advance through the Army's delayed entry program. Sure, being a soldier won't be easy, but then nothing worth having ever is.
Can a razor cut your beard off below the skin without the blades even touching your face? It can if it's a Norelco. Norelco's patented lift and cut system lifts the hair, so when it's cut, it can actually drop below skin level without the blades even touching your face. Are you getting a shave this incredibly close and exceptionally comfortable? You are when you shave with Norelco. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
Michigan State battles Ohio State. UCLA invades Arizona State, plus other key conference matchups next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
This graphic right here tells you a little bit about the offense for Alabama. They're really good running the ball and not very good throwing it. They lost an outstanding quarterback last year. Gary Hollingsworth was their quarterback, lost a bunch of offensive players, mainly in the offensive line and at quarterback.
Tide comes up now, set him up with a single back, put Palmer in motion, swing him back there. They fake it this time. Woodson keeps it, ducks away from the Tennessee pursuer, and will get himself about 6 yards. Chris Mims was coming in, number 93. He's a big guy, 6'6", 260, a defensive end. He is out of Los Angeles, a junior college man.
Mims is playing against a true freshman, number 93. Comes in and sees what's going on. Woodson makes a pretty good move on him.
And it's 2nd down and 4 for Alabama. Woodson's pass. Caught. Prince Wimbley hauls it in, a junior from Miami, Southridge High School. He's got a first down.
What Tennessee wants to do is force Woodson and Alabama to throw. Take a look right here. Look at the number of men playing the run. That's 9 people for Tennessee up to stop the run. The outside corners are man-to-man on the 2 receivers. And I'm sure Tennessee says, we'll force you to do that all day, and you probably won't beat us.
Boy, a little hitch sure would have done some damage, though, wouldn't it? Yep. Hitch and go.
Well, and break a tackle.
Yep. Not much there for Martin Houston. who worked some of the time this week at tight end because Derek Warren broke an ankle last week. Indiana, first quarter, jumps out 3-0 over Michigan. Oh, that'll crack the earth. That should hold up. Woodson still got it. Passes away. He has a man. But the ball's too high. Kevin Lee was over there. If that ball's down where Lee could protect it with his body, he could have handled it.
It was wide open, and I think this really points up the ineffectiveness of Alabama's ability to throw the football. He had a man wide open. Watch the receiver here. He's just going to go down and break right in this area. And the play-action fake. You know, Alabama is great at running the football, but Woodson, if Stallings needs Woodson to throw to win, he's in big trouble. Woodson is 1 of 4 with 8 yards so far.
Ball is dumped off to Houston. Houston breaks the tackle, gets it up across the 40 to the 41-yard line. But that's short of your first down. So Woodson, when you get in his face, you get him moving around, he's not going to be effective.
Houston is 235 yards. He said, I don't want to go down. The first two guys didn't move him.
In to punt, Tank Williamson. It'll be his third. And Carter goes back for Tennessee. Now, Williams is not getting that ball up in the air much, and he's giving Carter some opportunities. And Carter is certainly not a gimme. He wasn't named All-American kick returner last year for nothing. 37-yard punt. Not much of a return, however, only a yard, and you've got a timeout.
Oh, you looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent girl.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
You?
Just one.
What?
That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage.
I've got goosebumps.
Well, you've given me goosebumps for 25 years.
Your competitor is after the same job you are. Their proposal is similar to yours, but they own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? Canon color laser copiers. You can't afford to be without one.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denorex, and Tegman.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
First, we created the LS400 luxury sedan. Now we've taken everything we learned and condensed it. Introducing the new ES300. All the performance of a sports sedan, all the luxury of a Lexus.
The University of Tennessee has retired only 4 jersey numbers in its history of football, all worn by players who died serving their country during the Second World War. Ball rests at the 23-yard line where it is first down for the Volunteers, and Andy Kelly coming out. Threw 56 passes in the game last week against Florida and lost. Oh, almost fumbled that thing. Got it away quickly to Poe, and the big man is in there for about 3. Let's pause 5 seconds right here so our ABC stations can tell you who they are. David Palmer is stretched out on the bench, shoe off, sock off, ice around that sore left ankle. That's a good part of the quick part of the Alabama offense laying on that bench.
Doesn't look like he's going to be back in either.
Kelly, a little flip back to James Stewart, coming from a slot back position. Didn't fool anybody. Michael Rogers, a freshman from Laverne, Alabama, takes him down.
Alabama just sound defensively and offensively for Tennessee. This is what they have done so far in the SEC. It doesn't show you there that they are last in the league. They have thrown the most interceptions. They're last in interceptions, meaning that's one thing they want to lead. And that, fortunately, Kelly has thrown a lot of interceptions.
3rd down and 5, going for his first down, and he's close. Vaughn Reeves, the tight end, pulled it in. But I don't know if he's got it or not.
Looks like he's going to be just short.
He's short, Keith. So once again, they'll go to the punt with Tom Hutton. He's a left-footed freshman, and he can pop that thing. Had one block, though. Somebody missed a block up front, and they blocked Tom's kick last week. He gets some foot on it. And he runs Chris Anderson back inside the 25, and Anderson, who's another youngster that can really run, he gets it around the corner past the 30 and out of bounds. 45-yard punt, 9-yard return. Coming up next, our afternoon schedule, and there's some really good games in this group. Out on the West Coast, big one in the Pac-10, big one in the Big Ten, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M and Baylor. Bears are liable to be a little feisty after losing last week to Rice. That's coming up next here on ABC Sports. The Battle of the Brazos. Sharon Stacy is back in the lineup, gets the ball, senior from Geneva, Alabama. Well, I tell you, there just isn't any room against these two defenses.
Tennessee has gone to an 8-man front on first downs to try and stop the running game and force Alabama to throw. Larry Lacewell, the defensive coordinator for the Volunteers, was telling me the other day that he wants to force them to throw and get them out of that running mode.
2nd down and 10. Trying a different formation here. Woodson back to throw it. He had time. Now he breaks out of there and runs it up to about the 40 and leaves him a yard or so short of his first down. He got away from Casey Rogers. When Rogers had him in his sights, he juked him and left him. So it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Explain this to me, Keith, that, you know, the Crimson Tide play at 2 different stadiums. The record here at Bryant-Denny, on campus at Bryant-Denny, is much better than it is here at Legion Field.
You ever hear of politics? Downfield, got a man wide open, and he missed him. Oh, my goodness. Kevin Turner was loping along and just cleared the bell, and he missed it.
3rd and short. Nice call. Great call. Here he is right here. The man is going to it's going to be a play-action fake. He's going to go straight down the field. The defensive back is going to be sucked in. He fakes well. Just throws the ball too far. Big chance by the boards for Alabama.
Williamson's punt, spinner. Carter, 19. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. He just sidled by that would-be Alabama tackler and picks up a 22-yard return after a 41-yard punt.
It takes you almost an hour to get to work, which leaves you with 2 choices. You can either own a house closer to work, or you can own the road in between.
made up my mind. I'm going to do it. Why shouldn't I? I'm the one who has to look at myself in the mirror every morning. So before I lose another hair, I'm going to the doctor. I know doctors have treatment programs that are proven to work. More guys are trying them every day. I'm not bad now, but I wouldn't mind looking better.
Your doctor can really do something about hair loss. So see your doctor, or call this toll-free number.
This is Control. Go ahead.
We've got trouble.
What's the point of origin?
Japan.
Stand by. I'm patching you through to Command Center.
We've got to find it.
We'll have it tomorrow.
Tomorrow's too late.
You inform headquarters?
We're working on it. Hold on. You've got something. Quick, check the vehicle ID number.
That's it.
With more parts for more import cars than anybody else.
We got it.
Napa is a domestic solution to an international problem.
Go back to your question about Tuscaloosa campus versus here. This stadium used to be bigger than Bryant Denny down in Tuscaloosa, and so the big games, you're in the USC's, Nebraskas, and those kind of games. The lights are here too, and even going back to what, 70, 71, late 60s, they were playing night games here, and television had a role in it, I'm sure. But this was the bigger part for one thing. And Pat Dye, that pass is caught by Stewart, but not a whole lot of gain on it. Pat Dye always considered this Alabama's second home, and that's why Auburn went ahead and developed their stadium down there and will not play here anymore.
But they seem they've won about the same number at both stadiums, but they seem to lose more here than they do over on campus.
Yeah. Desmond Howard did that for Michigan. So the little people are really playing a major role in college football right now. I mean, little guys 170, 75, 80 pounds. It's no longer a game for the big men. Penalty flags and whistled Stoughton, and we stop it. Jimmy Harper will tell us about it.
Well, illegal motion, offensive line, 5 yards.
Well, if it was a tight end, he can move. Here's Jack.
You know, you talk about this great old stadium, Legion Field. Well, in an era when they tear down old stadiums to build new ones, they've undergone a $13 million renovation program here. First, add behind me a press box VIP suites, but also to return the stadium back to its natural decor. Back here, they use sandblasting to take all kinds of green paint off this whole place.
Set up a screen, and it works for Mose Phillips. And Mose has a big play. That's the biggest play of the ball game for either side. The gain goes to just about the Alabama 40-yard line. Obviously, it's a first down. Mose having come to school at Knoxville as a quarterback.
Alabama, number 80 is Curry. When you rush the passer, real hard London is 55. When you rush the passer recklessly, sometimes you leave the area open for draws and screens. Tennessee with a nice call.
And first down as Kelly hands that ball away to Stewart. Stewart starts in, goes out, and gets to about the 39-yard line. And let's check in again with Roger.
Thank you very much, Keith. Indiana at Michigan, leading 3-0 are the Hoosiers. And this is a catch that Desmond Howard is becoming famous for. Just lead him, he'll stretch out and grab it. His 11th touchdown reception of the year, 13th overall. And Michigan leads it 7-3. Let's go back to Keith.
You know what? I think Howard's got illegal arms. I think they stretch when he goes out. He's incredible.
But that's also a very difficult throw for a quarterback to get it that far outside and not throw it out of bounds either on the side or on the end zone.
Illegal movement, offensive line.
So both teams still tight enough here, still making mistakes in the ball game. We're in the second quarter of play, 6:04 to go in the first half, and the Alabama Crimson Tide leading the Tennessee Volunteers 3-0. It's been pretty much a defensive show up to this point. Kelly will throw it. Again, nobody open deep. Drops it off to Von Reeves, the tight end, and Reeves will have a first down for Tennessee at the Alabama 23-yard line. Vaughn's is a big guy. Reeves checks in at 250 pounds. At least.
They've gone to play action, and they've gone to their tight end. Here's the tight end. The fake is going to be up in here. As he comes across the line of scrimmage, Kelly's going to do a nice job of looking down, deep down to the left, and then comes off to the outlet receiver, which is the tight end.
Kelly now 7 out of 10 for 96 yards in the first half. 3-0 Alabama. This is Stewart again, and down he goes at the 25. That's a loss of a couple of yards as Derek Oden, inside linebacker, made the stop on him.
Oden missed some time earlier this year with a sprained ankle. Was number 2 in on the team, the Alabama defense last year in total number of tackles. Good inside linebacker.
Second down and 12. Faulkner is way wide to the left. Kelly gives it away to Pickens on a reverse. Pickens turns it back into the middle of the field and will be taken down at the 19-yard line by Robert Stewart, number 34.
Well, there's no question that Carl Pickens is their big play man over his career, and he's just a junior. He has 16 touchdowns. In those 16 touchdowns, he's averaged 42 yards per play.
Right now, the Vols are looking at 3rd down and 6. Nobody behind Kelly. That gives him 5 wideouts. Short of his first down. He had Pickens for just a moment because Pickens was the inside man, but that was taken away by the pressure, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And Keith, what Alabama is doing defensively is really they're not doing anything. They're only rushing 3, and they're dropping 8 men into the secondary. Tennessee is spreading them to the sideline with 5 receivers. Alabama's dropping 8 and just covering the area.
John Becksport is in for a 33-yard field goal try. He had one blocked early on in the ball game. Trying to tie it at 3. Got a lot of foot on this one, and the kick is good, and we are even. 3:32 to go, first half, a 3-3 defensive struggle.
Hi, I'm Frank Gifford. Be with us this Monday night from Buffalo as the Buffalo Bills take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Quarterback Boomer Esiason will lead a frustrated Bengal attack as they look for their initial win of the season. Meanwhile, the Bills, sporting the best record in the AFC behind quarterback Jim Kelly, are thinking one thing, a return to the Super Bowl. See you Monday night from Buffalo, Monday Night Football.
Monday, voodoo cult kidnappers
Zombies, MacGyver.
cast a black magic spell.
Now you are one of the undead.
On MacGyver Monday.
A 3-3 ball game with, Bob and I were just talking while we were away that Tennessee's dropping 8 people back to guard against the pass. Alabama is, and Tennessee, on the other hand, is sending 8 people against the run. So it's 180-degree philosophy right here.
I guess it's 8 is enough. But that's the defense for the strength of the opposing offense.
Chris Anderson is the deep man for the kickoff from Joey Chapman. But he won't get this one as it is taken by Derek Lassick, who is from Haverstraw, New York. And he's a tailback, the number 2 tailback, and quite quick. And he gives him pretty good field position as he comes up to the 26. This is what we'll have for you at halftime. This Dan Bitson story is a youngster out of Tulsa who has come back from an incredible succession of story of injuries in an automobile accident. Julia Moran will have that story, and Roger and Bo will have the football side of the news for you at halftime. The Bitson story was not able to get on last week because of the Clarence Thomas hearing. That pass is completed up to about the 35-yard line, but still just under the marker, it appears. Prince Wembley made the catch. So we'll see about the mark on it, and it is short of the first down, just over the 35. Wembley at 175 pounds, Palmer at 170 pounds, Kevin Lee 175 pounds. They're not big people.
Their wideouts are not big people is right.
Go for the first down with Kevin Turner carrying. May have it. Looks like he does. And we go inside 3 minutes to go in the first half. A 3-3 tie. Last year up at Knoxville, it was 9-6. And if you remember last year, Tennessee came into that ball game averaging like 39 points a game. They got 6. Woodson steps away. He's got a lot of green in front of him. Doesn't get a whole lot out of it, however, because there's a sure tackle by Ernest Fields on him at the 44-yard line.
Fields leads the Volunteers in tackles this year. He's a second team all-out Southeastern Conference defender last year. And Tennessee is a lot like Alabama, a lot of speed and quickness. These two teams got a lot of quickness.
Vlasic is in now. He may be just a little quicker than Stacy. Surround, of course, coming off knee surgery. Behind him, ball knocked loose, and it is covered by Alabama. But the man coming from the blind side got a hand in there and knocked that ball loose. I think it was Todd Kelly, number 58.
It's going to come from the left side. Hammond's number 63 is the left tackle over there. Kelly gets a hold of him.
And Toby Shields is the man who covers the ball for Alabama, the center, number 61. They'll call it 3rd down and 9. Intercepted. Very poor choice of target. And Ernest Fields, the linebacker who had dropped on the boundary side, makes the interception.
Just a poor decision on the part of Woodson. He is outside the pocket. This is good. It's a drop back pass. He gets some penetration. He slides, and that's good footwork. This is a poor decision. You can almost see it right there. You got a linebacker short. You got 2 defensive men there. There are 3 men around the receiver. That's been a problem for Woodson and Alabama's offense the entire year. Poor decisions by the quarterback.
First down for Tennessee at the Alabama 35. 55 seconds to go in the first half, and all 3 timeouts remaining. And there's a yard. Oden and Curry on Hayden. And they do spend the timeout. They have 2 remaining and 43 seconds to go in the first half.
I've had my share of sore throats. I just went to the doc with a doozy. Know what he suggested for fastest relief? Psst, psst. Chloroseptic. Doc was right. I could actually feel the pain go away in seconds.
More doctors recommend Chloroseptic spray for fastest relief because Chloroseptic's powerful medicine penetrates nerve endings on contact.
I can't prevent a sore throat from ever coming back. But when it does, I don't have to suffer.
For fastest relief, doctors say Chloroseptic spray.
It's going to be a good week to keep in touch.
Remember the day at the ballpark when I hit the ball and ran and slid in the mud and I was big mud?
You had a crush on my brother? She reminds me so much of you.
AT&T Reunion Week starts this Monday, and it's just 11 cents a minute for an out-of-state call. Anywhere in the U.S. from 5 to 11 p.m. So what are you waiting for?
Hey, all right.
Just 11 cents a minute to reach anyone, anywhere, all week.
Tonight on ABC, after all new episodes of Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, Madonna in the network television premiere of Who's That Girl, an ABC movie special presentation tonight. Put it on the 33. Call it a 2-yard pickup, and 2nd down and 8. Kelly to throw it. Dumps it. Under great pressure, they spread Kelly out all over the landscape. 2 guys hit him. And Antonio London, number 55, was the man that did most of the damage.
Alabama did a nice job defensively that time, not going into their zone, but going man-to-man. A little bit different look for Kelly. I'm sure during the timeout he had a lot of conversation on the sideline about what they were playing, what we're going to do. Alabama comes up and switches the defense on him. Bill Oliver calls the defense for Alabama. Nice call.
Four-man front. Backers are inside. Kelly keeps it, rolls for time, throws. My goodness, I don't know how it got there, but it did. And timeout, Tennessee. J.J. McCluskey, junior from Knoxville. Alabama up man on the play was celebrating. He thought they'd defended it, and it hadn't. It go right between somebody's hands and into the arms of McCluskey.
McCluskey's an interesting guy. He started on the defense last year, and a cornerback. Started 4 games for him. He's only 5'8" and 167 pounds. Came in as the second leading receiver on the ball club behind Carl Pickens.
Well, they're at 4th down and 1 in a 3-3 ball game where the offense has been blunted pretty much all day. And now Johnny Majors are going to try to go to the clubhouse with a lead at halftime. Only 27 seconds remaining in the first half. That means Bexford, the freshman, is in. He had one blocked from 34. He made one from 43. This one will be from... we made one from 33. This one will be from 43.
And if there's ever a chance time to go for a fake field goal, this may be it, Keith.
His longest in his career so far, 44. The man holding it is Jason Julian. They're going to kick it. Plenty of leg. Like I said, he's not old enough to know how hard it is yet.
That's true. That's for sure.
20 seconds to go and a half, and the Volunteers take the lead, 6-3.
This is looking more and more like the game last year up in Knoxville when Alabama won on field goals, all of it 9-6.
Well, the history of the kicking game at Tennessee, it goes back a long time, but the one name that sticks out in my mind as having played such a major role in the development of the kicking game, of course, Nealon insisted on it, but George Caffigo. Coached there for years and years and years, coached Johnny, and was a brilliant teacher of the kicking game. And Tennessee, for years and years, have had a succession of good placement kickers as well as very good punters. You don't see them make very many mistakes on their kicking game.
Well, both of their kickers this year are true freshmen, both Bexford and Hutton. In fact, Hutton, the punter, leads the SEC in punting.
So it's a 3-point lead for the Volunteers. Off the foot. Joey Chapman will kick it off now. The man deep for Alabama is Chris Anderson.
That field goal, you saw that drive chart, 4 plays. Actually 3 plays in a field goal, 9 yards, was set up by the interception.
They use the tee to kick off. They don't use it anymore for the field goal. He hooks that down to the left side, and he kicks out of bounds, and that'll cost him 5, and he'll have to bring it back. So he'll redo it from the 30, or Alabama will go out to the 35 and take the ball. I would think that they would want him to re-kick it. Might as well. They also need to put 2 seconds back on the clock.
How's old Bo doing back in New York? Is he liking that stuff?
I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him. I expect he does, yes.
He's a good guy.
Roger have to get after him, ask him some hard questions.
He'd love a game like this, all this defense, all this running, and
they take it up to the 35, and they'll take it. I thought they'd make him kick it again and see if they couldn't break Anderson, because he's one of the flyers But I guess they're content to go to the clubhouse with the way things are going now. He wants a timeout, so you get one more play. I don't think they're totally in sync in that decision. You got 9 seconds remaining now in the half, and so they will spend the time here to talk about that one more play. Bob was talking about the game up in Knoxville last year. Well, let's go back for a moment to it and show you some of the moments. It was a block on a Greg Burke try from 50 yards here. Alabama blocks the kick there, turning Tennessee away, and then 4 plays later, Phil Doyle comes in, and Phillip hits one for Alabama from 47 yards, and that was the difference, 9-6.
And sometimes the coaches and the players, knowing the history of the series, it's a little bit more difficult for the offense to score this year, maybe because you know that, hey, the history has been nobody has scored, and the defenses are supposed to play better, and somehow that does have an effect on the players.
So this ought to be the last one of the first half, unless there's a penalty involved, and it's not very glamorous because it's a sack by the Alabama quarterback, and the half is over. Chuck Smith was the man that got through. So it's 6-3 Tennessee lead at halftime. Back with activities after this message and a word from our ABC station.
ABC's College Football. Brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. And by Shop Vac Wet Dry Vacuums. If you own a house, you gotta own a Shop Vac.
You won't believe the Shop Vac. It comes with a surprise.
So where's the surprise?
In a minute. First, this baby picks up stuff like nails and glass, and like a regular Shop Vac, it also picks up water.
So where's the surprise?
Just watch. You twist the top, lift it off, and you've got a surprisingly powerful blowout.
And don't forget to get Steam Team, the attachment that turns any Shop Vac into a powerful carpet cleaner. If you own a house or carpet, you gotta own a Shop Vac.
Just how realistic is the audio system in the Lexus LS 400?
Saturday.
27,000 yen!
Tony hits it big in the market.
Is that good?
Couple $100. And all new Who's the Boss? And
anybody here from out of state? Out of town? Out of money?
Can Jason master the ceremonies on an all-new growing pains?
Yeah!
Then
Come on, let's go.
make a date with Madonna.
Shut up and kiss me.
It's the network television premiere.
Is that the best you can do?
Who's That Girl? That's Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, and Who's That Girl? Who's Who? Saturday.
Best thing about living in Alabama is fishing.
There might be something even better.
Yeah, like college football.
I was thinking of Alpha.
Alpha Insurance?
Having all our family's insurance with Alpha is kind of like sitting in the middle of a lake with your line in the water. Makes me feel peaceful and secure.
So, think we'll catch any big ones?
Why do you think I drove the pickup?
Put your trust in people who care. Call Alpha.
This year, she'll spend more time and money updating her appearance than she'll spend on her own health. This year, he'll spend more time and money maintaining his automobile than he will on his own health.
Alabama man joins 500 others in suing a weight loss firm.
The Prudential Halftime Report. Brought to you by The Prudential. Come to the companies of The Prudential and build your future on the rock. Reporting from New York, Roger Twyble and Bo Schembechler.
And hi, everybody. Welcome to our ABC studios. Hope you enjoyed first half of Tennessee, Alabama. Bo and I are going to run down the top 25 for you. A lot of those teams not yet started early on this Saturday, but we will tell you the top-ranked Florida State has got an easy one today. From Division I AA, they're playing Middle Tennessee State, and the Blue Raiders only getting $175,000 for this game. It's not nearly going to be enough. Another easy game in the state of Florida for Miami against Long Beach State. The Hurricanes looking for their 42nd straight win at the Orange Bowl. What should be a good game. Washington and California in the Pac-10, both teams unbeaten. Washington looking for their third straight shutout, and Bo, they've got a common opponent, University of Arizona. Cal kicked the field goal late to beat the Wildcats in Tucson, and then Washington eased by Arizona 54-0. What's Cal got to do to stay in this game and possibly even win it?
I thought Arizona would play better against Washington and didn't work out that way. I think both of them have explosive offensive teams. And but if you're going to compare the defenses, I think the edge goes considerably to Washington. And that's going to be the key to the game. From an emotion standpoint, here's California playing at home in the first really big national game they've been in years and years. So the emotion has to go with them. But the moxie, having been in big games, having played in the Rose Bowl, know what it is in order to win in the big ones. Washington's got a considerable edge.
You think Washington's the best team in the country, don't you?
Well, I do, but they can, they could get beaten, but only if they have some mistakes, turn the ball over. And that great emotion of helping the defense of California to stop that Washington attack, it could happen, but it's going to take tremendous effort to do it.
Cal scored 86 points off turnovers this year, but a game you know a little bit about, Indiana and Michigan. Michigan hasn't lost at home to Indiana since 1967, but they've got some troubles today. They didn't early. Well, what's that guy doing in Ann Arbor? Bo, where'd you go? Well, he's back here now. First quarter trailing 3-0. Elvis Gerbach will find Desmond Howard. He is becoming known for that outstretched catch in the corner of the end zone. Howard's 13th touchdown of the year, 11th receiving, but then Trent Green of the Hoosiers keeps it on the option, scores from 1 yard out, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And in the second quarter right now, Indiana leads Michigan 10-7. Tonight, Notre Dame will be at Air Force, where Notre Dame outweighs the Falcons 53 pounds a man across the front line. In another mismatch, Northern Illinois 1-5 at Florida 5-1. And, Bo, you've got Florida State playing Middle Tennessee, Miami playing Long Beach, Florida playing Northern Illinois. Are they getting full price for those tickets down in Florida?
Those are big scrimmages down in the state of Florida. I played Long Beach State once, and I've got to admit I was a little bit embarrassed standing on the sideline. I think the thing you have to ask yourself is to really help your team. It'll help some of the kids that haven't had a chance to play. But as far as your fans are concerned, can you really charge them $20 to come down to watch that scrimmage?
Wait, you played Long Beach once. Did you charge them full price?
We did. We had 105,000 fans there, loyal fans.
It works for the other guy, huh? Game you've been watching, Tennessee and Alabama. Bama looking for their 6th straight win over the Vols. Right now at halftime, Tennessee leads at 6-3. Kansas State and Nebraska. Huskers looking for their 23rd consecutive homecoming victory. Last homecoming loss in '68, yes, to the Kansas State Wildcats. Rutgers and Penn State. This game right now in the first quarter tied up at 7. Sam Gash, a 7-yard touchdown run. Last 2 years, Penn State has shut out Rutgers. Marshall at North Carolina State, a mismatch here. NC State 5-0 on the season. Jim Donnan, the Marshall coach, was a quarterback at North Carolina State back in the late 60s. Colorado and Oklahoma, the Buffaloes looking for their 17th consecutive Big 8 conference victory. Some of you folks will see that here on ABC, as will some of you Illinois and Iowa. This game featuring 2 fine quarterbacks in Jason Verduzco and Matt Rogers. Texas A&M and Baylor, another game here on ABC. Baylor 6th in the nation in offense. Texas A&M 6th in the nation in defense. Georgia and Vanderbilt, the Dogs 16-0-1 against Vandy since 1973. Ohio State and Northwestern, this game being played in Cleveland. First quarter, Ohio State leads it 7-3. Buckeyes haven't lost to Northwestern since 1971. Syracuse and Pittsburgh. What's happened to the Orangemen of Syracuse? They've lost their last 2, just underway. No score in the first quarter. Clemson is idle this week. Next week in Death Valley in a big ACC game against North Carolina State. East Carolina also idle. Coming off that win against Syracuse, they're at home next week against Pittsburgh. Washington State and Arizona State. This game in Tempe tonight. Quarterback Paul Justin threw for a Pac-10 record 534 yards against Washington State 2 years ago. He's a backup replacing Brent Powers in this game, but watch out for Washington State. They might pull an upset. Texas and Arkansas, this game at Little Rock, and the significance here, the last meeting in this series, the 73rd meeting, because Arkansas moves over to the Southeastern Conference. Jason Allen has thrown a 30-yard touchdown pass to Ron Dickerson. First quarter, 7-0. Arkansas is leading Texas. Coming up, Julie Moran with a heartwarming story about a young man from Tulsa. But first, as we look at Legion Field in Birmingham, some more scores for you.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was one pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took one giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs Benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
The following message is brought to you by the Southeastern Conference. Athletic and academic excellence. The Southeastern Conference, the standard for excellence.
It's halftime as you look at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. And welcome back to the Prudential Halftime Report. Julie Moran joins us right now. Julie, many sports organizations give a Comeback Player of the Year award. You've got a story about a young man who not only qualifies for Comeback Player of the Year, but maybe the comeback of a lifetime.
Roger, this really is an amazing story of courage and determination. 2 years ago, All-American wide receiver Dan Bitson was ranked 6th nationally by the NCAA and was well on his way to being Tulsa's all-time leading receiver when the driver of an oncoming car had an epileptic seizure and hit him head-on. Some say he was the best college receiver of the 1989 season. A senior at the University of Tulsa, Dan Bitson seemed destined for greatness. But on December 4th of that year, it all came to a screeching halt.
I actually got to see my left leg sticking out of the car and my right leg bent in my chest. And what actually put me out was being able to see my right wrist sticking up in my face. So, I mean, that gave me a sense of, wanting to quit, because I was telling myself that, okay, I fought long enough and maybe it's just time to, and meet my maker.
After over 10 hours of surgery and 46 days in the hospital, Dan embarked on a painful journey back.
You were in rehabilitation for months and months and months. What kept you going through all of that?
A lot of people was walking up to me and telling me that, Dan, I believe in you, Dan, I'm praying for you. I had a lot of support, not only from my family, but from a lot of friends, and that made me keep trying, not only for my sake, but for their sake, so they wouldn't see a quitter.
Central to his recovery was Dan's close-knit family, from his younger brother to his grandmother.
We've been with him every step of the way. Everybody right here, did our job. We just had to, because we know what type of kid he is. He worked hard. He deserved, say, a good shot at doing whatever he does.
It took over a year and a half, but when last spring came, Dan was back trying to catch passes. And on August 31st, after an NCAA ruling based on medical hardship, Dan Bitson was back in the game, catching the first pass he was thrown that day. He could not have done it without therapist Catherine Livingston, who still comes to almost every practice.
His body should have given up a long time ago, but his mind has said keep going and keep going and keep going, and he has. He's just never given up.
We use the words amazing and incredible, miracle, and they probably all fit.
As a way of giving back, Dan has decided on a career working with the disabled, but he still has some unfinished business on the football field.
Right now, I would say my main goal is getting in the end zone and feeling that gratification, and then I take it on from there.
Before the accident, Dan had already passed Steve Largent in receiving yards and was close to overtaking Howard Twilley's career record of 3,343 yards.
Well, of course, Largent and Twilley went on to have great NFL careers. How many yards does Dan need to surpass Howard Twilley on that all-time list?
He needs 111 yards, Roger.
I was impressed, though, Julie. His big goal is, though, to get back in the end zone for a touchdown catch. That's terrific. It's a great story, someone you can cheer for. Dan
Certainly
Dixon.
is, Roger, certainly is.
Thanks so much, Julie. By the way, Tulsa's off this week. They'll be playing Memphis State next week, and we'll return with more of the Prudential Halftime Report right after this.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was one pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took one giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
Thousands of youngsters across the country have learned sports skills and life skills from top college coaches and college student athletes. Funded and organized by the National Collegiate Athletic Association and its corporate partners, youth education through sports, or YES clinics, are offered free of charge at the sites of selected NCAA championships. Watch for a YES clinic in your area.
Coming up next here on ABC's College Football, we'll continue with regional coverage. Two undefeated teams square off in the Pac-10 when the third-ranked Huskies of Washington battle the seventh-ranked Golden Bears of California. Or in the Big Ten, you'll see Illinois take on Iowa. In the Big 8, Colorado Buffaloes face the Oklahoma Sooners, or Texas A&M meets Baylor in a Southwest Conference showdown. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Next, here on ABC Sports, and let's update you on a couple of games. Desmond Howard has caught another touchdown pass from Elvis Gerbach, 14-10. Michigan now leads it in the second. It took just over 2 minutes for Florida to score against Northern Illinois, 7-0 there. And Rutgers has gone out on top of Penn State, 14-7, that game in the second. Bo, low-scoring first half. I think we thought we'd see maybe a little more offense, especially out of Tennessee.
The defenses have looked good, but the offenses have not looked very good. I do not see Alabama scoring unless Tennessee makes a mistake. Tennessee may get a touchdown or a field goal in the second half.
Andy Kelly's had a rough time the last couple of years against Alabama, throwing 5 interceptions. He could be the key to this game. We'll have to watch that in the second half of Tennessee and Alabama from Legion Field down in Birmingham. Enjoy the second half, everybody, and we'll be talking to you later on today.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by the Prudential. Come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
From Legion Field, 6-3, Tennessee leads Alabama. Now the $1 Million Band from Tuscaloosa under the direction of Catherine Scottman, assisted by Ken Ozello.
In the spirit of the Olympic Games, the Postal Service would like to present... Two-day priority mail. That's delivery in just 2 days of up to 2 pounds for just $2.90. Remember, 2 days, 2 pounds, $2.90. 2-day priority mail from your Postal Service.
We deliver for you.
Official sponsor of the 1992 Olympic Games.
At Thrifty Car Rental, we know traveling on business has its good points and its bad points, its ups and its downs. So to make those trips a little less hectic, we at Thrifty offer an extensive choice of vehicles at remarkably reasonable rates. Because no matter how much money you make...
You all set, Mr. Goodsey?
It is, after all, your money.
Look for the sign.
Professional service.
Red, blue, and white.
A friendly face.
It's a good sign.
Your Big A Pro.
Keeps your car running right.
Nice to know he uses top quality Big A parts.
Big A. The sign that keeps your car running right.
Someone to depend on when you need to depend on your car.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same idea as you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is...
Let's print it.
They own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
ABC's College Football. Brought to you by Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America. The cars more people depend on. And by Magnavox. Smart choices for smart people. The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
Steve Cole is going to kick it off for Alabama to start the second half. Dale Carter is the deep man for Tennessee. Volunteers lead the ball game by a score of 6-3. Offenses haven't done much in this game so far. It's a high kick going to the sidelines and lets it go, and now you got your choice. 35-yard line, a re-kicking. Up.
Well, if you like defense, you're going to like these numbers. Look at for Tennessee, these numbers right here. Not too impressive until you look at the ones right next to them, and these are Alabama's. Alabama has only 3 first downs, only 73 yards total offense.
One of the reasons for Alabama's demise in the first half as an offensive threat, David Palmer now on crutches with a severely sprained ankle. Let's hope that's all it is. Poe is in the backfield with Aaron Hayden, the deep man, and Alabama's eating him up. They chose to start the possession on the 35-yard line, and Robert Stewart looked like he just assumed that's his farm and get off of it.
Number 34 right over the center. He's only 6 foot tall, but he weighs 270 pounds. He bench presses over 500 pounds and runs the 40 in 4.6. One of the reasons why Tennessee's not doing too well today offensively. He wears that 34 because he used to be a running back.
Well, he'd be a load as a running back, wouldn't he? Try to go outside, got a block on the corner, and it works pretty well for Hayden as the 200-pound freshman moves on up close to a first down. He's about a yard, maybe 2 short.
Tennessee offensively, Kelly 8 of 12 and 103 rushing. Hayden has 52 yards, and Pickens has 2 receptions for 39, and Bexford has the 2 field goals. Alabama defensively, Odin leads with 8 tackles.
Third down and 2. The ball's right on the 43-yard line. Kelly pitches it to Hayden. Won't get there. Boy, I tell you, it is mean trying to run it.
Just good defense, Keith.
Hard day to be a pedestrian, isn't it?
Tough day to be an offensive player. Everything's happening on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage.
The defenses are just too quick and too fast.
I think I say it was like trying to cross the Champs-Élysées at 5:30 in the evening. You got no chance. Fourth down. Tom Hutton. Second punt of the day. Back to the 15-yard line on the fair catch to Chris Anderson, who is a sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama. That's a 41-yard punt and no return.
In the first half, Alabama, offensively, numbers aren't going to be great. Woodson is 3 of 8 and 22 yards and an interception. Turner leads the rushers, and Wembley has caught 2 for 17. Green with the 1 field goal. And for Tennessee defensively, Walker, the middle linebacker, leads with 7 tackles and has also recovered a fumble.
Todd comes out in the I formation, pitch it back to Saran Stacy, and a couple of yards is all he's going to get. 93, Mims. 40, Bradley.
The only time Alabama scored in the first half was on the 3rd possession when they got the ball on the Tennessee 24-yard line, took it 6 plays, and kicked a field goal. Other than that, they have not had the ball more than 5 plays in any one possession, and that is not pretty if you're an offensive person.
And this is what happens to you if they're laying on you. Stacy's carried the ball 5 times. He's picked up 3 yards.
Yeah.
Woodson goes wide with it to Stacy. And 3, now 4 volunteers out there to put him on his back. And let's join Jackaroo.
Keith, not surprisingly, neither coach was at all happy with the play of their offense, but what was surprising is what Coach Johnny Majors told me. He said, we're not going to change anything in our offense. I feel that's the best that we can do under the circumstances today. In fact, he feels it's not only going to be a defensive contest, but it may come down to the kicking game in the end.
That's a first down play on the pass to Stacy out to the 32-yard line. They're unbalanced to the left side. Boundary side, and looks like Woodson might be checking off. He is. Turner turns around and gives the snap count to Stacy, and Woodson goes back to throw, and the pass is good as Stacy picked up the Tennessee pursuer, and Wembley loses his footing and is beside himself.
It was a good checkoff by Woodson. Doesn't have many checkoffs, but he has a checkoff with maximum protection in case they're blitzing, and throw it outside to the wide receiver. Now give one of your fast guys an opportunity to make some yards, maybe break a tackle, and get a big positive play.
If he'd have just planted and cut, he'd have found some daylight.
Yeah.
Hand that ball off to the fullback, Turner. And not much. Just getting the second half underway with Tennessee leading 6-3. We've had 3 field goals. You're looking at 3rd down and 1 now, and you would think, oh, well, I'll go outside for a breath of air. Don't do it, because they haven't been gaining their first downs on 3rd down and 1 plays today. As a matter of fact, Alabama is 0 for 6 on 3rd down conversions. You got 2 fullbacks in there now as they go to a power I. Stacy. Well, he searches around and finally gets a little daylight and picks up the first down. But he had to bounce off 3 people before he got outside and got across the 45.
Well, this just points up the weakness for the offense for Alabama, and that's their offensive line. And the strength for Tennessee, their front 7, so aggressive. Just an outstanding effort by Stacy, picks up this first down.
Personal foul call against Tennessee after the play. Oh, man, that's a big mistake. That's 15 yards. It puts the ball down on the Tennessee 39-yard line. First down, Alabama. Stacy. Pretty good run, 7 yards.
Keith, Alabama is doing something on offense. Here comes the play from the sideline with the wide receiver. That's Lee. Now watch, he doesn't give it to the quarterback. He's going to go into the huddle and call it himself. Look at it. He's calling it himself. Then the quarterback, Woodson, only gives the cadence. They've been doing it. They do that the whole game.
Stacy again. Pursuing on the play, looked like Darrell Hardy, number 87. He came around the block, and with Stacy looking for a place to go, was able to get him. Alabama had 3 first downs in the whole first half, and in this opening possession of the second half, they already have 3.
There's the messenger. He comes in, he calls the play. It's to save time. You have to translate it to the quarterback, and then he doesn't have to call it again to the team.
Yeah, he's now checking.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Better dump it. Oh, shoot. He just doesn't have the experience to let it go and get that thing out of bounds and save the yardage.
You know, he's a senior, but he has not played. We mentioned he has not played before this year. He has made some poor decisions. That's Mal Moore, the offensive coordinator, and Coach Stallings. Really must be frustrating for Stallings. His offensive line is weak, and he has a quarterback that has never played.
That'll go into books as a sack, and it's the 4th one. And Tank Williamson hits it toward Coffin Corner, but he can't get it over there. And it goes through the end zone. It'll come back to the 20 for Tennessee.
Last year, the average price of a car with standard anti-lock brakes was over $40,000. But today, all that's changed. Because we understand the real value of safety. We put anti-lock brakes standard on more models than anyone. Even on our least expensive Cavalier. Chevrolet.
The heartbeat of America.
The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. Valvoline has. You learn in the lab, you learn on the road, you learn on the racetrack. As you learn, you make your product better. And better, and better. Today's Valvoline will keep your engine cleaner than ever before. And cleaner means more protection against engine wear. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline. For centuries, mankind has looked to the heavens for the extraordinary. Starting November 1st, it can again, in the friendly skies. Introducing Connoisseur Class, only on United. A truly elevated form of international business class. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Last year, they won their conference crown. This year, that's not enough. The Buffalo Bills battle Boomer Esiason and the Bengals on ABC's Monday Night Football.
That's a schedule today in the Southeastern Conference. Only 2 games underway right now. Georgia making some noise in the conference, though they did go down to Alabama and get beat. And they got Florida coming up in a couple of weeks down in Jacksonville. They still play that annual in the Gator Bowl. Tennessee ball at the 20. They lead 6-3. Andy Kelly's gone all the way, pitches it back to Aaron Hayden. That's a 1-yard pickup.
Tennessee.
Number 1 laid a lick on him. That's Stacey Harrison. Let's pause 5 seconds here for our ABC stations to identify themselves. Second down and 9 coming up. Hayden got a little room over there, but Chuck Smith, number 56, got just enough of him to take him down, and Derek Oates, number 56.
Tennessee came out in this series and started off with 2 tight ends and only 1 wide receiver, trying to establish a running game against Alabama.
Third down and 3. Now they stay with the ground game, and they're not going to get the first down. The ball rolling around, but they're going to call it down. A yard plus short of the first down.
Arkansas has really gotten things going, haven't they?
Yeah, you know what that is, though? The sense of that score, though, that's the end of that 78-year rivalry. They're not going to play anymore because Arkansas is coming into the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, look at Hutton. I mean, he gets all of it. And looking up into that bright, bright, hot sun, Chris Anderson loses the ball and then gets away from it, which is probably the smart thing to do. Because we saw Dale Carter lose one a little while ago trying to look into the sun.
Well, this is a commercial for this ingenious personal portable CD player from Magnavox, the inventors of CD technology. It gives you incredible stereo sound. I'm sorry, actually, this is a commercial for this intelligent Magnavox 13-inch TV that has a built-in VCR that you can... I'm sorry, this is really a commercial for this brilliant Magnavox 52-inch TV with 100-watt Dolby surround sound. And I'm sorry, this is really a commercial for this clever little 8mm EasyCam that weighs less than 2 pounds and can... I'm sorry, wrong again. This is supposed to be a commercial for this Magnavox 386 notebook computer. Hang on, I haven't finished. I'm sorry, you have.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
Getting to know you. Everybody's different. Different looks, different tastes, different lifestyles. That's why Geo offers you a choice. Geo Metro, Geo Storm, Geo Prism, and Geo Tracker. So pick your favorite and get to know Geo. Right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers. Getting to know you.
The offensive linemen of Alabama back in 1930 when they won the national championship were so heavy they tipped the field, and they started calling them Red Elephants. And they've been doing it off and on ever since. And that opened the door for Big Al to get into the stadium. New combination in the backfield now. Number 25 is Derek Lassick, and the fullback is Martin Houston. Lassick, very quick. He's out of Haverstraw, New York, junior. And Woodson just pulls him down and takes off. And picks up the better part of 8 yards before Sean Walker gets him out of bounds. I don't know if that's all that bad, Bob. You can really effectively get what amounts to old single wing block and just go on and run that.
And you get an extra blocker and just have the quarterback take it under his arm and run. He's a good runner. He won't beat you throwing. He could beat you with his legs.
Yep. Lee and Wembley come wide to the bottom of your picture now. Pitches back to the tailback, Lassick. He's pretty near dropped that thing. Breaks out of there, gets into the clear. And he's run down at the Tennessee 26-yard line. That's what quickness will do for you.
Watch the right side of the offensive line as we take a look at it. He's just going to toss this ball back to the tailback, and he's going to get up inside. They're going to stretch him wide. It's going to be called back, though, because it's an illegal procedure. The gain was 41 yards, the biggest of the day by far. You know, if that was on an offensive lineman, you know, their problems have been in that offensive line the whole day and all season, really. It's so frustrating for a coach.
Actually, though, Bob, it's the first Alabama penalty. It's just been a game. It's been a game fraught with mistakes. It really has. Poor decisions. Stacy is back. And Lassick is out for a breather after that long run for naught. Woodson keeping the ball, trying to hide back there and find a little weak side help. There's a penalty flag. That's a late hit out of bounds. And 15 to that. Woodson's a big guy, and he's strong, as you can see there. He stands in there at about 220 pounds, and he's not going to lay down for you. And Tennessee got so interested in hitting him, they got beyond the field of play hitting him.
After play is over, dead ball, personal foul, defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Smiley 22, but 18 is Carter. He hits him when he is way out of bounds. And another push right there. There was a lot of activity going on over there on the sideline.
Moves the ball all the way out to the 49-yard line, and now you get Jay Barker into the ball game. Woodson, winded after the play, has to come out and get his breath, and Barker checks in. He's the freshman quarterback. Handed off quickly to Kevin Turner, and Turner breaks a tackle and turns it upfield. And Kevin gets about 8 or 9 yards. At the conclusion of the game today, we will choose the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team 21st year. Chevrolet has been conducting and contributing to the scholarship program. $1,000 donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
Coming into the season, both Barker and Woodson were very close through spring practice and fall practice, and Barker got hurt, Woodson got the nod.
It's second down and 1.5 yards. Pitch it back to Lassick. He reaches to the 40 and gets it there for the first down.
Notice there seems to be a little bit more life, not only on the field with the players, but also with the fans with the change of quarterbacks.
Yep. Well, whatever Barker's going to do, he's probably going to do it quickly. And so that ups your tempo a little bit, and having Lassick in there, though Stacy is a proven quality, high quality running back, Lassick he goes flying around. He's liable to do anything. This is the big guy, Martin Houston, and there's nothing there. He's from center. He's a junior, 255 pounds. But Tennessee just rat-a-tatted him. About 4 guys went pop, 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 pop. The last one got him. Ball is resting just short of the 37-yard line. Second down and 8. Quick pitch to Lassick again. Turns for the hole, and not much. 34-yard line. He's got to go to the 29 for the first down, so it's a 5-yard need they have here on third down.
Tennessee defensively is just too quick. They toss that ball. You got 7, 8 guys running laterally on the Tennessee defense. These guys can run. We mentioned earlier, 9 seniors start on that defense for the Volunteers, and they all are quick.
You may see Barker's first pass right here. Miley and Wembley got tangled up over there. No flag. The pass is incomplete. And now as the kicking team comes on, let's check in with Jack.
Keith, the quarterback change may have been necessitated by an injury. Danny Woodson, number 12 for Alabama, well, he has a pulled hamstring. Now, they are taping it and wrapping it on the outside, but it's questionable whether he'll be able to return.
Yeah, they'll take away his legs. It's his primary tool. Williamson trying to hang it up, but that's too long. Takes the bounce and goes on into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 20 for Tennessee. First down. Volunteers leading 6-3, 5:01 to go. Third quarter.
Stood there boldly, sweating in the sun. Felt like a million, felt like number one. like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.
The trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last.
Like a rock.
Chevy trucks.
Standing arrow straight, like a rock. Charging from the gate, like a rock. Carrying the weight, like a rock. Oh, like a rock.
Every business morning, while the rest of the world is getting up, UPS is guaranteeing overnight delivery before 10:30 for far less than other companies charge. And every business morning, more people are waking up to that fact.
Good morning.
Symbol of industry standing on the hill over the city of Birmingham, 120,000 pounds of Vulcan, 55 feet tall. Wish I could put a hat on him and play. On the 20. It's a first down for the Tennessee Volunteers, and they go to the run with Rockpo. And he gets 6 yards out of it. Summary on this ball game. And when you talk about offense, it's lack of. Tennessee's lead fashioned on young Beckworth's field goals.
Andy Kelly, the Tennessee quarterback, came in averaging over 300 yards a game. In fact, had thrown for over 300 the last 3 games. Only has a little over 100 so far.
Stewart loses 2 yards.
They ran into his offensive center 2 yards in the backfield. That's not a good sign.
No, it's not. And about that time, here comes Antonio London to further complicate things. And he really leveled it.
London came into this game today with 3 forced fumbles on the year. Also has 3 quarterback sacks and is one heck of a linebacker.
Tennessee's yet to throw the ball in this half. This being only their second possession. Oh, a little bit of room there. James Stewart, tailback. That's David Woodson, the Alabama quarterback. Trainer's working on him for that pulled hamstring. Looks like there might be more than that. Here goes Stewart again. And on first down, that's 2 yards where Steve Webb wraps him up. Well, we told you they had refurbished and enlarged Legion Field. There it is, 86,293. It's the largest crowd ever in the state of Alabama that we know of, at least for a college football game. Back goes Andy Kelly on second down to the sidelines to Pickens. And Pickens is taken out of bounds at the 40-yard line, which is 2 yards short of the first down. Stacy Harrison was the first man to get there.
Pickens is one of a long list of outstanding receivers to come through Tennessee. Take a look at 7 wide receivers, former wide receivers that played at Tennessee, drafted in the first round in the last 14 years. You know, Penn State is known for their linebackers and Miami for their quarterbacks, SC for their running backs. Some wide receivers around here.
Here comes your reverse with McCleskey. And they've got a first down at the Alabama 37-yard line. Mark McMillan saved the touchdown. He's also from Los Angeles, playing for Alabama.
one of the few offensive plays that have gone for more than 15 or 20 yards.
Tennessee man shaken up. Clock stopped at 2:41 to go in the third quarter. Let's check in with Roger Twybo.
Thank you very much, Keith. Last 2 years, Penn State has shut out Rutgers. This in the second quarter. O.J. McDuffie will take the punt and watch him scoot 55 yards for the touchdown. The second punt return for a touchdown in his career. It's tied up at 14 now in the second quarter, and Penn State just turned it over at the Rutgers 5-yard line. Let's go back to Keith.
Rutgers is causing some noise back in that part of the country, and they got Brian Forte in their future, the quarterback who vacated Miami, to come back home. That is Patrick Lenore, the right tackle for Tennessee out of Germantown. He's going to have to leave the ball game. James Warren listed as his replacement. This is the tailback. And it's James Stewart, and he's out of there by Eric Curry. Next Saturday, ABC's college football offers Michigan State at Ohio State, UCLA, Arizona State at Tempe, Mississippi State and Auburn, and North Carolina State still undefeated in the ACC against Clemson. That could be a title game there. All those games at 3:30 Eastern Time. Kelly throws the ball, and Andy knows full well that wasn't a particularly good pass. In the first place, he was too close to Mose Phillips to really give it to him. He could have pitched it underhanded and fared better with it.
Well, he wanted to throw the ball deep. They had something going deep to the two receivers. Again, good coverage by Alabama. He had to come off to the outlet, and he really wasn't prepared to throw him the ball.
Just under 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. It's still 6-3. It's third down and 11. The Alabama crowd comes up for the defense, and Andy Kelly's pass is whipped to the sidelines to the 30. Caught by Corey Fleming, but he's short of the marker. So they'll be looking at fourth down and about 3. Becksport has come on the field. Oh, they're going to stretch that youngin's leg. 47 yards. This would be his longest in college. Now make it 46, the official scorer says. Dave Brinson telling me. And he hits it. And he missed it. Missed it right. If he'd have pulled it back into the goalpost, it'd been close. 1:02 in the third quarter. And the Crimson Tide will get the ball at their own 30-yard line. Jay Barker stays in at quarterback. Doubt very much that we'll see Woodson again today. That sore leg. This is Stacy. Well, all that running around behind the line of scrimmage, and just like opening the corral gate. I mean, those Broncos are all over the place.
There is just nothing there offensively when you start wide, because there is so much team speed on the defense. I mean, if you're just tuning in, this has been this way the whole ball game. The offenses have not done anything. I would guess there's been like 3 or 4 positive offensive plays the whole time. And why is that? Because the defense, team speed, is much greater than the offenses.
Stacy, 9 carries, only 13 yards. Jay Barker going to throw it. Well, he was going to throw it. But again, there's an evidence of exactly what Bob was talking about. These defensive people lurk, literally, until they see a crack, and then they just shoot through it, and they're almost impossible to block. So we played 3. It is 6-3 Tennessee, and we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Britain, Connecticut is 119 miles from New York City. It only seems farther than that. People here live in the same houses their parents lived in, worship in churches where their grandparents worshiped, and work for the company their great-grandfathers built, the Stanley Works. So it's not surprising Stanley tools are made to last. It would only be surprising if they weren't. There's a first time for everything. Your first love, first kiss, first date, first job, and your first new car. For more people, that first new car is Chevy Cavalier. A simple, solid value that'll get you through the changes until the next first time.
Heartbeat of America.
The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
He's a hero to some, a scoundrel to others. For the first time in 5 years, Oliver North sits down for a face-to-face interview live, beginning Monday on Nightline.
Announcing an automobile that draws on a heritage of quality. The world premiere of the 1992 Buick LeSabre. Totally redesigned, it will set a standard by which all other sedans will be measured. Bring on the competition. LeSabre is ready and waiting. This is what America loves to drive.
When America loves to drive.
LeSabre.
Buick's the way.
See your Alabama Buick dealer right now.
Meet the class of 2001. They're getting a head start on the future with Food World's Apples for Students program. With a little help from you, your kids can too. Just save your red Food World receipts and give them to your child to take to school. When the school collects enough, they earn new Apple computers. So start saving for their future now. Because if enough parents make the trip to Food World, who knows how far their kids can go.
Catch the Terry Bowden Show
on Channel 6, your big-time sports station.
I've been a member of this faculty for a very long time. I can't believe that a young person who wants a college experience wouldn't find something here to satisfy them. I don't know if I'm a good teacher. That's something I'll never know. I think that I can nurture enough that they're a little bit better if I have had the opportunity to interact than they might have been if I hadn't. And that's what gives me satisfaction.
On the whole, I'd rather be at the pool, she said. Jostled around. God. Ball is at the 30-yard line. It is third down. This is Kevin Turner. First down, Alabama. It's 6-3 Tennessee as we go to the fourth quarter of play.
Nice play, a little shovel pass, taking advantage of the upfield rush by the Tennessee Volunteers. A little shovel pass, big first down for Alabama.
Todd Kelly, the defensive end, has to come off for the balls. That's about the fourth angle we've seen today. Stacy back in for Alabama now at tailback. This goes to Kevin Turner to the 45, gets 3 yards. Sean Wolfer, the tackle.
Well, it's been defense, all defense. Again, here's why they can't run. Look at this, 8 Tennessee Volunteers up around the line of scrimmage. It's tough to run against an 8-man front. He is substituting a linebacker, taking out a cornerback on 1st and 10 to stop the run of Alabama.
And as long as I've known Larry Lacewell, he ain't going to change unless you make it.
That's right.
He's just sitting there and slapping your ears off, and you got to do something different. That pass right there might help. Tight end Buskey gets a first down for Alabama. Let's check in with Roger Flavel.
Thanks, Keith. Division I AA, Middle Tennessee State against Florida State in Tallahassee. Casey Weldon to Shannon Baker. Well, yeah, they counted it a touchdown. His 16th touchdown pass of the year. And Boots Donnelly had this to say, the Middle Tennessee coach: I've got some players I don't like. I plan to make them stay on the field for the whole game. We're writing letters to their mothers. He was joking, of course. Let's go back to Keith.
On might have caught a bus if I'd been one of those players before dawn. That's one of those games that you have, Saran Stacy, that you have to play them, like Cal State Long Beach playing Miami. That's a mismatch. You know it is going in, but it's a payday for Cal State Long Beach. It's a win for Miami. It's just like this one. That's a win for Florida State. And Gene Stallings had a heck of a line last night. He was talking about having 3 easy games in a row, and he said, sure, you call Tulane easy, and you call that team easy, and Chattanooga easy. Well, you just try losing one.
Lose one.
See how easy it is. This is Saran Stacy, and he's got another Alabama first down. So all of a sudden, with that one pass downfield, stretching Tennessee's defense vertically, has seemingly opened the door here, and the Tide's on the move.
And seems to have come with the insertion of Jay Barker at quarterback with the injury to Woodson.
'27-yard line of Tennessee. Here goes Lessick. 9 yards on the carry. Crowd is in the game. First time in a while.
Pretty good blocking up front. Just a stalemate. The offensive line just didn't really move the Tennessee defensive line, but just held them, and Lessick made a good move to get through.
Houston's in at fullback. Goes to Stacy. Slowed up, but picks up the first down, it seems anyway, on the mark. First down, Alabama. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Yeah, and I give you that pass downfield to the tight end. It stretched him up. Lessick is back in. He's now alternating his tailbacks. Lessick. He's out of bounds just short of the goal line. At the 1. He almost slipped in there. Roderick Lewis got just enough of him to make him hit the chalk at the 1.
Behind the defense, on the other side of the field, just a toss, a play they've been running all day, but this time, Houston, number 35, is going to get a good block on the corner right there, and Lessick has the patience to wait for it. Gets down to about the 1-yard line.
Kind of funny, Lessick's walking around up the sideline, leaving the game, calling for the crowd to cheer. Not on the field, everybody else is saying, hey, be quiet, we can't talk. Barker gives it to Stacy. Touchdown, Alabama. They've got the lead.
Take a look at the battle at the line of scrimmage. Just a crack for Stacy to get airborne. The lines judge on the side called it immediately. He didn't get over by much, but the ball just needs to break the plane of the end zone.
Camp Green for the extra point. This could be very big. It's good. Close, but good. 4-point lead for Alabama. They go 70 yards in 11 plays.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same idea as you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is...
Let's print it.
They own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
me help you?
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
Top-of-the-line parts, expert advice. That's your Big A Auto Parts store.
Big A, the sign that keeps your car running right.
When you've got something precious to carry, this is one way to do it. Here's another. Chevy Lumina Euro Sedan. Engineered with four-wheel independent suspension and standard anti-lock brakes. It's one way to help make sure your precious cargo is delivered safely. The cars more people depend on. Chevy Lumina. Family Circle's Domestic Family Car of the Year for the second straight year.
Number 3 Washington tackles California. Illinois battles Iowa, plus other regional action. Next, as ABC's college football continues.
Well, the quarterback change, Parker, has it's up the tempo for Alabama, and as a result of that, they go 70 yards in one big pass play, and the two tailbacks played a major role in putting that thing in the end zone to lead 10-6, and Steve Cole kicks off. He kicks it right to Dale Carter. Says, here you are, big fella. Have a shot at it. And he comes back to the 26. So the Tide's all jacked up right now. The crowd is of 86,000 plus is in the game. It's up to Tennessee now. Be quiet. You got Stewart at tailback. Kelly lets it go down the middle of the highway. Incomplete. Closest man to it was Antonio Langham. The man running under the ball was Carl Pickett. That may have been a play of influence.
Frustration throw, yeah. Yep. He was just throwing that downfield. As we take a look at Saran Stacy, every time he has scored a touchdown, well, almost every time, 14-1 for Alabama.
Let's see whether or not Kelly did influence Alabama's defensive attitude. But we'll have to wait until they've had their conversation and a timeout with 11 and a half minutes to play in a ball game.
Nothing's as proud as a Chevy full-size.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
America's best-selling trucks for one simple reason. They work. Chevy trucks.
Like a rock.
The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
Like a rock.
There's a reason more people go to Sears for a new battery.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. Sears is so confident of Die Hard starting power, if you need a jump, Sears will do it absolutely free. Anytime, anywhere, even if you leave your lights on.
I got stranded once. Never again.
Sears Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
Since we became employee-owned, I think there's a far greater commitment to providing good quality service.
Roving Rapid Return is really fast. I meet you at your car, push a couple of buttons, hand you a receipt, and you're out of there.
So why rent from anyone but an owner?
Your competitor is after the same job you are. Their proposal is similar to yours, but they own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? Canon color laser copiers. You can't afford to be without one.
Oh, yeah. You'd probably have to be as old as I am to recognize that. That's Tuxedo Junction, comes from 1939, and it came out of Birmingham, made famous by Erskine Hawkins. Tuxedo Junction got its name from the streetcar line crossing at the corner of Tuxedo Park, the residential area in the city. Great piece of music. All right, it's 2nd down and 10 for Tennessee. Crowd jumping into it. Andy Kelly checking off, has to call his tailback up to tell him. Then gives him the ball. And there's not much there. John Sullins leads the defensive surge for Alabama, and here's Jack.
Keith, what they may think on the Tennessee side is they've seen this movie in black and white in Gainesville last week. The crowd got into the game, and Andy Kelly and company said they couldn't even check off. They couldn't hear themselves. You saw in that last play that they had to come up to some of the key players and actually tell them to check off.
Well, that's the problem when you're on the road, and you make provisions for that when you're home at practice.
Kelly never had a chance. Antonio London, number 55.
Alabama, with a late substitution, goes to a 5-man line. The man that gets him is going to come around the outside of the screen of the offensive tackle, top of your screen. Late substitution, good defensive point.
And Hutton is in to punt with Chris Anderson deep for Alabama. Good kick by Hutton. Woo. He grows up, he might be pretty good. Chris Anderson going down to 30, gets a block on the corner. And he's all the way down to the Tennessee 15-yard line. First down, Alabama.
The number 2 team in the conference in punt returns. Now you're going to see a wall. Look at the red jerseys. They're all waiting over there for Anderson. If he can get there, good things are going to happen. Special teams, how often they'll break open a close game.
He stepped out of bounds about 3 yards back up the field. But in the melee, you can't see it. Adams is the man, Mark Adams, tight end, is the man hurt on the side of the field. He got involved in that kick coverage and that rolled up in that big crowd on the sidelines. It was a 51-yard punt by Hutton, but it was a 56-yard return by Anderson. But here's the point. Hutton outkicked his coverage.
Yes, he did. And Alabama, across the board, has better special teams than Tennessee. They're better in kickoff and punt returns, better in covering the punts, just about every category on the special teams.
And so now this crowd is really in it. 9:55 to go in the ball game. And it's 10-6 Alabama, and they're camped on the Tennessee 15, and the campfire is burning. Stacy. Volunteers put a little water on that smoke after a 2-yard pickup with J.J. Shirless, whose daddy Tom played at Alabama, an all-SEC performer. Second down and 8. Classic. Here's the lone back. Parker can run it. Gets inside the 10, down to the 7. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Gene Stallings, just a designed run, doesn't want to make anything negative happen here. Just keep the ball. The worst we want to come out of here with is a field goal. I'd be very surprised if he put this ball in the air.
I'll tell you what, a touchdown sure would be big, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but
this is Stacy. There's your first down. First and goal inside the 3.
In a close game like this, when field goals have been the norm, if you can get more than 2 field goals up, That'd be a big advantage.
Tennessee tied in. Mark Adams has a bruised shoulder. Just inside the 2, 1st and goal. Stacy to the 1. Boy, they're quick. Defensively.
Yep. You see the number 23 on Ernest Fields, who made that tackle. The reason he wears 23, he's a linebacker, is because he used to be a running back. A lot of these guys that wear these low numbers used to be running backs that grew up and with the speed, brought the speed with them, and now they play linebacker.
Classic. Touchdown, Alabama.
It's like he pulled a muscle right there at the end. I don't know.
Well, he's showing off in the end zone, but he looks...
Yeah, it looks like he's holding his hamstring.
Yes,
he wanted to get up and celebrate just a little before he had to go off.
Yep, I think he's pulled one, too.
Good block there, good cut up, and then back to the outside. Right there.
There it is.
Right there, yeah.
Oh, you can feel it all the way up here. And Green for the extra point. Penalty flag, it is good. Let's see about the flag.
Defensive team offside. Kick is good. Penalty being forced on the kickoff.
7 minutes and 54 seconds to play in a ball game. Alabama has a handle on it right now at 17-6, trying to win 6 in a row.
Radio Shack, America's technology store.
The world listens to Radio Shack, and you can listen to music anywhere with this portable CD player at our lowest price ever. Or listen to the real-life drama of emergency, public service, aircraft, weather, marine bands, and more with this realistic scanner. And you can buy either on sale for only $119.95. Great selection, superior service. Radio Shack, America's technology store since 1921. Nobody compares.
We have traveled together for more than 80 years.
You can hear it.
We have seen highs and lows.
Heartbeat.
Trends come and go. But through it all, one symbol has stood for simple, honest values. Things that last and given you more than you'd expect. Chevrolet. The cars more people depend on.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
There's the story on the scoring move. Remember, that was set up by a 56-yard punt return by Anderson. Classic's walking around now. Maybe it's not too severe. Steve Cole will kick off from the 40 because of the offside penalty. Dale Carter's the man deep for Tennessee. This time they don't kick it to Carter. They kick it short, give up some distance in order to keep it away from him. Mose Phillips is going to wind up with a ball at the 15-yard line. And you got another flag way back up here at the 40-yard line. So I got a hunch that a whole lot of folks are going to have to come back this way.
Alabama was offside.
So with Tennessee possessing the ball back at the 15, you know they want them to do it again. So they'll bring it back up here to the 35 and kick it off. This is what's shaking in the top 10 today.
Offside on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty. The kick will be replayed.
Florida State rumbling along. I don't think the Seminoles ought to have any trouble until they get down to November 16th.
I'll tell you a team that a lot of people don't know about, and that's the Washington Huskies.
You got that right.
Especially east of the Mississippi. We've seen them a couple of times, and they are, you talk about quick. These two teams have quick defenses. Put Washington right there with them.
Except the Huskies got everything to go with it.
Yep, they sure do.
So put it back on the 35, and Cole will re-kick it. He didn't want to kick it to Carter then, but Carter's got it in his hands and taking it at the 20. Holy cow, what a hit. You want to know the fella's name that just hit him? Sam Shade.
And he's a true freshman, one of 12 true freshmen that have played this year for Alabama.
Monday night on ABC Sports, Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills, Boomer Esiason of the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, it's been all Buffalo to this point. But Boomer says my boom is ready. ABC's Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern Time.
Those are two quarterbacks that can really light it up, too, Keith.
They really are, aren't they? Two tough guys. That pass is intercepted. It's deflected and intercepted by Antonio Langham. And Alabama is in that old familiar posture of rolling. And they are on fire right now.
Well, he's trying to go to his favorite receiver, Pickens. Pickens is right here. He's just going to run straight down and run a streak. Now, Langham is here. He's just going to go down, and the ball is underthrown. He'll intercept it when it's thrown short and tipped, as you mentioned.
The Volunteers they just can't get a hold of a fire hose now, can they? It's just everything's going Alabama's way.
That's rolling. Everything's downhill now for Alabama.
Kelly in this half, not too good. 2 out of 5, 15 yards and interception. This is Stacy. He's still going. And he's inside the 10, out of bounds, first down and goal, Alabama at the Tennessee 8-yard line.
You talk about a tough run. He was hit just going through the line of scrimmage. Watch to the left side of your screen, right there. That's Hardy, number 87, who almost knocked him off his feet. Gains his balance. Unbelievable.
Stacy again.
Oh, man.
Hey, Saran, take it easy. You're going to break something. My goodness.
Stacy, 2 years ago, was up for the Heisman Trophy Award at the beginning of the year. Injured his knee in the first game, missed the entire year. That was last year. Came back this year. He's been averaging over 100 yards a game.
That's the Alabama tight end Buskey down on the field.
But Stacy is leading the SEC in rushing. Just doing an outstanding job.
7:09 to play in a ball game, 17-6. Alabama has threatening to blow it open here in the final quarter.
It's football time. Your ball, Joe.
I'm hurting, Jimmy.
I did it. You can do it.
This isn't tennis. This is football pain.
My doc says ibuprofen for body pains. The medicine in Nuprin.
My trainer, same thing.
So Nupit.
Nupit.
Nupit with Nuprin.
Strong stuff.
Just takes one.
Cheer up, Joe. There's always tennis.
Yeah, Jimmy? You think I'm old enough?
For back, joint, or muscle pain.
Nupit.
Nupit.
With Nuprin.
The body pain medicine.
You could call one company to take your package to an address across town. And you could find somebody to take your package to any address cross-country. Then you could call a third outfit that could take your package overseas.
and yet another that could take your package overnight. But there's only one company you could call if you only wanted to make one call.
Hal Buskey being helped to the sideline. This is one of those games on these two teams' schedule where you sell out. You don't take anything home with you. You spend everything you got right here on the field of combat. This is Søren Stacey, and he's going to lose a yard on that carry, trying to weave his way amongst the bodies, and Ernest Field wasn't buying it. And he took him away. 17-6 right now. Field goal makes it 20. That's 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, at least, for a tie. But, you know, Tennessee would still have a shot at it. A touchdown here, and Tennessee may not have a chance. Turner's a man in motion, the fullback. They go the other way, give it to Søren Stacey, and he scored.
It's only fitting that Stacey should take it in since he's the one that did the most work in getting it down here. Lots of blockers up front. And it's speed to the sideline. And he just barely gets it in.
Green for the point. Got it. 6:21 to play in the ball game, and it's 24-6. Alabama. They have blown it wide open in the 4th quarter. Alabama has some staying power, admitting the last 3 opponents have not been in the quality of Tennessee. But in the last 4 games, including this one, Alabama has outscored the opposition 187-30. That's decisive. And a lot of that's come late. They last. They play 60 minutes.
Let's go back and take a look at the interception. Watch 94, left your screen right there. Just gets a tip of the ball. That's Copeland. Langham gets the interception, 43, but Copeland, number 94, is the man that's responsible for it. That set up the last touchdown. Copeland's a junior college transfer, came in this year and started.
He's a native son, but he went down to Mississippi. He was to junior college and came back. High kick to Ronald Davis. Wide out, back on the 3-yard line. Whoa. I mean, I tell you, folks, it's sellout time. It's not a safe place to be out there right now. Michael Rogers hit him. Søren Stacey had a yard in the first quarter of the game. 0 in the second. Here you're looking at the numbers on Andy Kelly in the first half and the second half. I'll give you Stacey in a minute. That ball is just short of the 19-yard line, where it's first down for Tennessee. And if anything good's going to happen for the Volunteers today, it's got to happen pretty soon. Andy Kelly all the way to the sidelines to J.J. McCleskey and a pickup of about 6 yards, and here's Jack.
Hey, Keith, if you lived in Bridgeport, Pennsylvania, you'd pull probably for the Penn State Nittany Lions, right? Well, that's not the case for 24 members of the Bridgeport, Pennsylvania Bama Boosters. Johnny Nicoli, you're the president of this group. Why don't you pull for Penn State?
Because of the tradition of Alabama, the winning tradition of great fans and the greatest Southeast Conference.
And this is the only game they come to all year.
Well, they picked a good one. Pass was incomplete, intended for Mose Phillips. I remember that a long time ago. They started that. Bridgeport just decided, well, we're going to back the Tide, and they have socials and things like that. And then once a year, everybody loads up and comes down here and has a good time.
And plus you like to go follow a winning program, right? You like those long rides back home. You like to be have them happy. You don't want to be sad trip.
That's right. Third down. Kelly back. He's got a screen working for a first down to Mose Phillips. Mose still hauling it. And he is finally thrown out of bounds at the 44-yard line of Alabama, and that tends to quiet the crowd just a bit. At 24-6, however, time is the ally of Alabama, no question about it. That'll be Antonio London, who has played a big ball game today defensively for Alabama. First quarter, Tennessee had a chance. Alabama got the lead on Green's 21-yarder, and then when Tennessee couldn't convert a fumble, they wound up a 3-3 tie in the second quarter on Bexvort's field goal, then took the lead at halftime as John hit one from 43. But in the fourth quarter, the Tide started to turn things around. Stacy from a yard out, Lassick from a yard out, and Stacy from 3 yards out. And that's where we are, 24-6. Tennessee with the first kind of a threat in a long time from the 44-yard line. Andy Kelly's pass is good. The pass is caught by Faulkner, his second catch of the ball game. He has not seen the ball since the first quarter of play. It's first down Tennessee inside the Alabama 15.
Well, not many wide receivers for Tennessee have seen the ball in the second half.
Day into the corner of the end zone. It is too high and it is incomplete, and now Alabama is getting those DBs in there. How many they got in there now? 6?
Well, they do as many as 7. Andy Kelly is known around these parts, the Southeastern Conference, for bringing the Volunteers back from deficits. I don't know whether he can bring him back from 18 points down with 5 minutes to play, but that's the chore in front of him.
Antonio London comes back into the game after they got pumped up, got some wind back in him. They show blitz. Now they peel out of it. And Kelly dumps it. Trying to get a screen going, but Aaron Hayden can't find much room. He gets inside the 10 to the 9. And the clock running along at 4:55 to play in the game. After the game, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report with Roger Twibell and Bo Schembechler. We'll have scores and highlights as many of the games in the middle of the country rolling along now, and some of them out in the mountain country. And, of course, there are some terrific games coming up here on ABC Sports as soon as we get through in Birmingham. A very large one out on the West Coast. The Washington Huskies and the California Golden Bears, 2 undefeated teams.
Here's a look at Carl Pickens, Keith, one of the key players in this ball game. Only 3 receptions for 45 yards, an average of 15. He came into the ball game today leading the Southeastern Conference in catches, in yards, total yardage, and also yards per game.
London is down on the field again. Looked like he had a cramp, and he's going to walk off, but Antonio has put in a day's work already. It looks to me like they could probably give him the rest of the day off.
See Marshall ahead of NC State in the first quarter. Second quarter, excuse me.
Look at that, Pittsburgh beat the Syracuse. Temple beats Navy. Jerry Burt bringing the Temple out back. He's a good coach. He had great success with the University of Pennsylvania. Kelly keeps it, dives for the goal line, and they don't give it to him. But he'll have a first down just short of the goal line.
It's a good play by Andy Kelly. Again, Alabama dropping everybody off into the end zone, and nobody was open, but there was a lot of room for him to run, and he took advantage of it.
Got to remember that Tennessee played a very tough, emotional game last week against Florida. The dive, and it's touchdown, Hayden. And the Volunteers have answered some.
The scheduling is so important, Keith. I mean, just playing Florida and Alabama is tough enough, but to play them both on the road and back-to-back on the road, that's very difficult. If they would have had them both at home in Knoxville, the chances of them beating both of them would probably been pretty good.
You know about scheduling. Remember that story I was telling you last night about when General Nealon was up, Scrappy Moore was coach at Chattanooga, and Tennessee's going to go for 2 here. And Alabama, they always played Chattanooga before the Alabama game. I'll finish it in a minute. Let's watch them go for 2 here. That's Pickens in motion. Kelly gives it to him. Got to hurry. Won't get there. Number 11 put him away for Alabama, Lemensky Hall. And so the 2 points is turned away, and the score remains 24-12. But to continue the story, so General Nealon called Alabama goes to the T formation, changed the offense, different coach. And General Nealon called Scrappy and said, "Scrappy, how important is that game of ours to you?" And he said, "Oh, that's very important. That pays our bills for the year." Scrappy, how would you like to go to the T formation?
And we help him go to it.
Play the same defense and same offense.
Yep.
4:25 to go in the game now, and 24-12.
Well, you're looking at an onside kick here. Tennessee is down by 12 points with 4.5 minutes to play.
Putting it on the tee. Onside kick coming up. Stewart's over here with one of his teammates, so he's going to hit it right along the line and try to bounce it up in the air. Bounces off an Alabama man. It's Fair Pickens.
No, it's Carl Pickens.
No, Fair Pickens. Carl's not out there.
That was a lot
of clawing and scratching down in the bottom of that pile.
Looked to me like a Tennessee man has it.
Well, they're still fighting over it.
Yeah, that's right.
Tennessee got it.
They have changed hands a few times.
Tennessee got it. And so the Volunteers put one in the end zone, try the onside kick, and by golly, they come up with it.
It's a good kick. It's a lot of bounces. It's not going to go out of bounds. It's knocked up in the air, which is great for the defense. Now you put all of your defensive backs and wide receivers, all the good hands people over there to receive it. And all your linebackers and defensive backs are on the white shirts because you want tough people that can go down there and fight for it and take it away.
Well, you know who went down there and got it was that big old 6'6" defensive end, Chris Mims.
Yeah.
So Tennessee has the ball at the 49-yard line. And Kelly throws it in underneath to Mose Phillips. And in going anywhere this time because John Sullins was right there. The big senior from Oxford, Mississippi, took him down.
You know, I sense a little bit of a different Andy Kelly out there in the last drive and the first play of this one than I did before. He's more intense. He's more of a hurry up. He gets tougher toward the end of a ball game if he's behind.
Whips that pass over the head of Carl Pickens, incomplete.
Defense he's going against is not an easy defense. Alabama, we mentioned, they come into this ball game. They are the best team in the SEC against the pass, and they lead the conference in takeaways.
3 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the game. 24-12, Alabama. And all of the excitement has been in the final period. Little delay. Ball handed off to Tavio Henson. And not much. About 3. So they've turned the marker over and it says 4. be right here the last gasp for Tennessee. And so as a result, they call a timeout to talk about things. Johnny Majors, the offensive coordinators, they have made their call. He's letting the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, those people deal with it. Remember, these are the games following in your respective areas. Big one in the Southwest, big one in the Big 8, big one in the Big 10.
How about Illinois? Big surprise there, where they've been playing. Of course, they've been playing a lot of those at home. It'll be interesting to see how they do over at Iowa.
On grass, too. They play on the rug at home. David Burnson has just come up with quite a remarkable stat. He says that's the first successful onside kick against Alabama in 24 years. Are you sure? That's quite remarkable. Todd Barry, our spotter again, as he has been for 10-odd years. Kelly's pass is complete. That is a first down. He goes to the big play man, Carl Pickens. And Pickens picks off the first down. That'll move the chains to stop the clocks at 3:15 to play in the game.
Alabama has contained Pickens pretty well. We showed you that graphic a little earlier, having caught only 3 passes for about 45 yards. Makes a big play there to continue the drive.
Mark it just inside the 30. Kelly's out there. He has a protector directing traffic. His pass is good inside the 15 to the 14, and that's another first down. 3:05 to play in the ball game. Executive producer of ABC Sports, Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's college football is Bob Goodrich, who produced today's game, and it was directed by Larry King. Tennessee shrugging off a 5-yard offside penalty against Alabama to keep the ball in the play.
Well, you mentioned about that onside kick, the first one in 27 years against Alabama. Tennessee may need to do it again.
Yep. 3 minutes on first down. Kelly throws out of bounds, incomplete. We continue to pay my due respects to those who have made this whole thing work today. Our technical director, Gary Larkins, associate producer for college football, Jim Ressler. Our associate director, David Kibiat, unit manager, Lenny Nathan, tech ops, Sal Fong and Hal Schmitz, assistants to the producer, Mitch Green and Steve Shunks, the computer stats, Mark Amito and Tim Goodman, booth coordinator, Jenny Thompson, our sideline coordinator, Dick Schechter. That's a good, tough run by Aaron Hayden. And Hayden wrestles his way inside the 10, close to the 8. But time now, like the shifting sands. Put the ball at the 9-yard line. There's the touchdown, Aaron Hayden. So Tennessee has gone bang, bang on the scoreboard.
Big effort by Hayden. Hayden, just a true freshman playing in only his 7th game. See Johnny Majors signaling we're going for 1 point.
This will make it a 24-19 ball game with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to play.
Everybody is spread out. Red shirts back defending the pass. You don't like to see a quarterback hand the ball off on this situation, but it's a smart play. He makes a good play out of it, makes the score.
You know what this reminds me of? Last Saturday's game down in the Orange Bowl, when it looked like that Miami had Penn State's will broken and the game in their pocket. The kick is up and good. It looked like Alabama had Tennessee's will broken and the game in hand. Not so.
This one has a little bit different flavor. The defenses were choking this game down for like 2.5 quarters.
2 minutes and 25 seconds to play. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Sean Walker for the University of Tennessee, 15 tackles in the ball game today. Surratt Stacy, 20 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns, but a big player in the fourth quarter for Alabama. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward the outstanding students who need some help financially. All right, here's Chapman to see if he can reproduce magic. Notice how he's got the ball teed up. He sort of lays it down, trying to get that end over end, get a bounce on it. Knocked down by the Alabama man and controlled by the Crimson Tide. Now, you do not, again, to say it again and again and again and again, look at him hug that ball. That's Kevin Turner. Kevin Turner he was the one supposed to go get it the last time.
Turner's got good hands. He has caught 92 passes in his 4-year career here at Alabama, so that's why they have him out there. In fact, 2 years ago, he caught 48 in 1 year.
The Tennessee man shaken up is Tracy Smith, so you've got a timeout for him. But you know, the receiving team does not have to wait for the ball to go 10 yards. The minute that thing starts moving, you can go get it.
Yep.
And it oftentimes is a wise thing to do.
Well, he made a wise choice there. He saw a big hop, and he went forward and got it on the big hop before it hit the ground again.
Yep. You know, I know somebody that has very painful memories of that very thing, and that would be Coach Schembeck. Waiting for the ball to come to him. Don't do it.
Onside kick, huh? Not only does Turner Keith have good hands, but he's made his 35th start of the year. Been around here quite a long time, and he's been very productive for the Crimson Tide. Somebody had won out there in a situation like that.
So it's first down, Alabama. The ball is on the Tennessee side of the field at the 44-yard line, and now all they need to do is run out the clock and let Tennessee burn up their times out. They have 1 remaining, and they just spin it. So from here on, all Alabama has to do is just roll it. It might need 1 first down.
Yeah, I think they will need 1 first down. Johnny Majors, of course, wants either to get a fumble, and if he can't get that, just hold them. 8-man front for sure, sometimes a 9-man front just to stop them.
Well, Johnny had an old friend out in Iowa, a gentleman named Bob Dillon, who passed away this year. But Bob used to send notes to Johnny. We were talking about that last night. And this seems a fitting time to remind Johnny of one of the pieces of advice that Bob Dillon sent him. Make the least of what is gone, the most of what is to come. Because unless there's some real magic here in the next few minutes, this one is gone. 24-19, Alabama. So at the 42-yard line. That's ball, 2nd down and 8. Stacy just covers it up. Running, coursing through the soul of the man with the ball is that old eternal advice. Do not drop it.
Is this the fans are reacting to the Tennessee player on the ground? The fans think that he's faking, and I think Stallings may think he's faking too, just to get the clock stopped.
Well, it's
there's nothing in the rules that stop this from happening.
That's Sean Walker.
I don't know if we got a replay or not to see if Sean Walker was injured.
So while we got a timeout, let's go to Gene Stallings for a moment. And a comment he had last night regarding his time spent with Paul Bryant and Tom Landry.
Our X's and O's weren't any better than anybody else's, but our players thought they were. if Coach Bryant said it, well, that was good enough. And and yet they were both very successful. Coach Landry would have been a successful college coach, and Coach Bryant would have been a successful pro coach.
And, of course, the factor of Paul Bryant being a pro coach, he had a deal with the Miami Dolphins in his pocket. And he decided to stay here after he'd had the meeting with the people over in Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
And replacing a legend, well, you see how hard it is. And here's Sean Walker being helped off the field now.
We certainly hope he's all right.
Well, if we lose him, that is an enormous...
A lot of the fans here, pro Tide fans, think he's faking just to get that clock stopped.
Yeah, if he gets over to the sidelines and starts dancing after a drink of water, we'll know something, won't we?
But they have started the clock again.
No. Don't think so.
Yes, they have.
No, I mean, I'm looking at Walker.
Oh, Walker.
I think he's indeed damaged.
Yeah.
Clock is rolling. Parker giving the ball to Stacy. That ball came loose. He fumbled it.
Unbelievable.
Tennessee's going to get one more shot.
This is unbelievable.
There's your miracle. Roderick Lewis, number 5, covered it.
The last thing you want to do here is take any chances at all. The worst thing you do is punt the ball away and let your defense come out. The ball was loose. There's no doubt that the ball was loose before he goes down. There's a minute and a half to play. Tennessee needs a touchdown, and Kelly is very tough in these situations.
But he has no timeouts to work with. Oh, holy cow. Pops it, drops it off. That's Stewart. And he picks up a couple of yards, and he does not get out of bounds. Remember, they have no timeouts to work with. They can stop the clock by getting a first down or getting out of bounds.
Or an incomplete pass, and that works to your favor, too.
He needs to throw one to the ground pretty quickly because he's come up on a minute to play now. Burned a lot of time right there. This isn't too good either.
No.
Now the clock shows 45 seconds.
There are certain things a quarterback can do in these situations, and there are other things you just do not want to do. One of them is take a sack.
Well, they ought to let Kelly just go out there and call the play. He doesn't need any advice on the sidelines, for heaven's sakes. He knows what kind of play he's got to call.
He's wasted 15 seconds since that scramble.
At least. Throw it. That's off the hands of Craig Faulkner, incomplete. And now you've only got 18 seconds left. You've got 4th down and 2. 4th and 2. They had a minute and 11 seconds when they got the ball, Bob, and they ran 3 plays.
Yeah, and there weren't very good choices. You got 2 problems. First of all, you need to pick up a first down. A quick out to the bottom of the screen would be good.
This is it. Pickens will have your first down, and will stop your clock at 12 seconds. But as soon as that referee winds the clock, I mean, you've got to be ready to go.
It's almost time to throw the ball deep down the field. You got maybe one chance for a deep out.
You got 2 plays left. Now he throws it to the ground. He should have done that 3 plays ago. 10 seconds. It's easy up here, though, isn't it?
Sure is. It really is. And, Keith, no matter how many times you do this in practice, nothing is ever the same in a game. The situation just isn't quite the same as it is in a ball game. And you're right, you cannot do it from the sideline. The coach cannot coach you or tell you the plays. The player has to be in control on the field.
Seconds. Kelly caught. has beaten Tennessee 6 straight times, 24-19 today.
ABC's College Football has been brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last. By UPS, now offering 10:30 a.m. guaranteed overnight air delivery. By Radio Shack, America's technology store, nobody compares. And by the U.S. Army, learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Monday, voodoo cult kidnappers.
Zombies, MacGyver.
Cast a black magic spell.
Now you are one of the undead.
On MacGyver.
Are you ready for the football?
Then Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills roll out the welcome mat for Boomer Esiason and the Bengals on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
Public notice, Steve Goldstein's Big and Tall and the Palm Beach Clothing Company are having a 50% off sale. Choose from our new fall lineup of Palm Beach suits, blazers, or sports coats at sale price and receive the second at half of the sale price. Mix the items as you wish, but the second must be of equal or lesser value. For big, tall, portly, and athletic sizes, it's Palm Beach and Steve Goldstein's Big and Tall in the Palisades, Oxmoor Road at Green Springs Highway.
Alabama has over 200,000 budding Rembrandts, Picassos, and Matisses. With the help of Mother Nature, they paint Alabama with 100 different hues of green.
It is one thing to accelerate from a standing start. Quite another at high speed. Infiniti designed the Q45 to do both. With a variable valve timing system so advanced, there is no compromise at any speed. Infiniti has, for the first time, blurred the lines between luxury and performance.
Sideline 91, Fridays at 10:30 on Channel 6. ABC Sports presents the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Now from New York, Roger Twibel and Bo Schembechler.
And hi, everybody. Welcome back to our ABC studios in New York. Exciting game down there at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Right now, let's get you caught up on the top 25. And we want to tell you, first of all, though, that we have some great games coming up next here on ABC. Coming up at 3:30 Eastern Time. Undefeated teams in the Pac-10, the Washington Huskies and the California Golden Bears. From the Big Ten, it'll be Illinois and Iowa. The Big 8, it's Oklahoma and Colorado. And then in the Southwest Conference, Texas, A&M, and Baylor. A lot of those teams ranked in the top 25. But let's start off with the top-ranked team, Florida State, against Division I AA Middle Tennessee in the second quarter right now. The Seminoles lead it in Tallahassee 20-7. Casey Weldon has thrown his 16th touchdown pass of the year. Indiana